All right, guys. So today we have jobless claims. We've got non-farm productivity data out today. Uh, SPY gapping down a little bit, but then back up to 393s, right around the lows from yesterday. Tesla probably won the stocks dragging everything down. Tesla down to 191s after the investor day yesterday. We did have European CPI drop this morning, I believe. All right, guys. So yeah, European CPI came in at 8.5% versus 8.2% expected. Yeah, so European CPI came out at 8.5%. Sharp rally. Yeah, I might start buying some stuff up now. We got a justifiable pullback. Um, Luckily, we took some off of Ford and Google yesterday, so we're not really. No music. Okay, got you. Hold on. I'm gonna buy a little bit of Microsoft once I can. All right, guys. E-mini. Yeah, market's rebounding a little bit. Again, Tesla is what's dragging the market down after the investor day yesterday. Yeah. Tesla dragging the market down yesterday. They didn't really announce anything big like they expected to yesterday. I don't even know why they did an investor day if they're not going to announce anything big, you know? All right, guys. So, all right, guys. So 393.50s again. I still got a couple minutes before I could actually trade. All right, let me get the music playing here. But yeah, so SPY at 393.50s, 393.50s on the SPY. Um, yeah, I didn't really like the investor day. Now we got music. There it is. Hey, thank you, Galaxy. I appreciate it. Thank you. So CPI. So Kirsten says, "Do we want CPI better or worse for worse than expected for a bullish market?" So CPI is inflation, and so CPI is pricing. Is the easiest way to think about. Anytime you hear CPI, think prices, right? So by that logic, higher prices is worse. And so it's going to evoke a negative response in markets. And so if you look at like Euro CPI, for instance, this was worse than expected by about 0.3% because it was higher, which means higher pricing, right? So it means European pricing was higher than expected, which is not good. It's not what we want. It's not going to evoke a positive response in markets. It's a negative, thing. It means pricing was higher than expected. Hey, thank you, Galaxy. He said, "Hey, brother, I just want to say thank you so much for doing these live streams. It's an amazing, tremendous, or it's absolute tremendous help in being updated with all the news. You're really doing us a service." Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, what's up, Steven? Y'all can hear the music, correct? You should be able to. Yeah, I mean, all right, guys. So yeah, SPY at 393.30s here. Tesla at 191s. What's up, Ricky? Patrick? Yeah, big earnings today could, do some stuff. If we look at what earnings are coming out today, we've got Best Buy, Macy's, Kroger, Billy, Big Lots, Burlington, Six Flags. Uh, that's basically all the big ones. But yeah, we got some earnings dropping today. Most of them don't come out. Billy came out with theirs, 48-cent loss per share, which was better than expected. Anheuser-Busch dropped 86-cent profit EPS on 72-cent profit expectations. So better than expected for Bud. BUD is the symbol for them. It's Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch. Now we also have Kroger dropping theirs at 7.15. You can see Kroger is actually gapping up a little bit, but they're expecting 90-cent EPS. That'll drop in about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. They're expecting 90-cent profit EPS on 34.88 billion in revenue. Macy's drops theirs at 6.15. Bro, a couple years ago, Yeah, Macy's still at 15 or 20 bucks. We'll see what happens with Macy's. Macy's is expecting $1.57 EPS on 8.25 billion in revenue. You can kind of see how their margins. Best Buy dropping theirs in about 35 minutes or so, expecting 209 EPS on 14.7 billion in revenue. Best Buy is expecting minus 10% growth. Macy's is expecting roughly minus 5% growth. Kroger is expected plus 5.5% growth. Billy came in at 5.9% growth for Billy. Big Lots is expecting minus 10.5% growth. Burlington is expected minus 0.3% growth. Anheuser-Busch is expected almost 20% growth, or showed up at almost 20% growth versus 8.3% growth expectations. So, yeah. Big Lots drops theirs. Big Lots should already be out with theirs. But they're just not out yet. Big Lots, it looks like Big Lots is late. They were supposed to drop theirs at 6 a.m. on the dot, which was about 30 minutes ago. And they're not out with theirs yet. Yeah, thanks to everybody who tuned in for our Investor Day stream. That was fun. Like I said, remember, today is jobless claims numbers. If you don't know what jobless claims are, jobless claims should influence markets. There's the Dixie. Tesla weighing the market down at 191s. Hey, what's up, Lily? Yeah, I'm in Texas, Quentin. It is 5:30 in the morning here, so I get up early. Polestar. Does Polestar drop theirs? I know they're like PSNY for Polestar. They used to be something else. I can't remember what they used to be, but... Yeah, so PSNY does drop theirs today. I don't see any expectations for them. When 102,000 subs, we'll probably hit 102 sometime over the next week. Like we're at 101.6 right now, basically 101.6. Yeah, GGPI. Yeah, that's what it was, Leslie. Yeah, so SI dipped like crazy. What is that stock? I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I don't know anything about it either. Doesn't necessarily sound good. This is Silvergate Capital. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Big drop, though, from 13s all the way down to 9s. So a big percentage drop there. What's up, Fish? The silver plaque should be coming in sometime soon. I'm actually tracking it right now. They sent me my shipping information, and so the plaque should come in sometime soon. All right, so all right, guys. So yeah, we got. I'm probably gonna start buying some stuff up again. The first one I'm looking at is Microsoft. I'm definitely gonna be watching Microsoft here. Oh yeah, let me do a poll. I didn't do a poll yet. Here, let me do one. Which one's this one? Oh yeah, let me do a poll. I didn't do a poll. Okay, it's this one. All right, got it. That one can go away. Does the market react good or bad, basically positive or negatively, to today's jobless claims and non-farm data at 8:30? Or I'm just gonna put it at 8:30. Bull reaction, bear reaction are gonna be our two votes. There we go. I have a lot of Tesla. What do you think the local bottom will be? Ooh, I don't know, man. Tesla's so volatile, Kirsten. I really don't know. Tesla's so volatile, is what it is. Hey, thank you, Pyro. Make sure we monetize the stream. I think we did. Google's still holding 89. Yeah, I mean, Google's at 90.24s. I scaled out of most of my Google already. If you want to see this, like I talked about this a couple days ago. I actually made a Twitter post 2 or 3 days ago that said, hey, I cut almost all of my Google trade. And I made a bunch of money from it. Again, if you saw where I got out, my average here, you can see my average on the rest is like 88.93. So on the day, we're down about $8.50. But on the actual trade on the last 50 shares, and this was hundreds of shares, we're still up $70 or so on the last little bit. And so we're already out. We're only holding 50 shares, which is a small position to me on Google. So we're already cut most of that one out already. We already exited all of Microsoft a couple days ago as well. And then we also started taking profit on Ford. We exited Ford yesterday at the opening bell, but Ford's still doing really nicely too. But we cut a lot of Ford yesterday at the open as well. You can kind of see we're still green about $21 on the last 50 shares of this one. So yeah, we've already cut out of most of these trades. We've already scaled out of it. We got the bounce we were looking for. And really it's just one of the perks of having a large account is that I can kind of scale in on dips. And then when we break over my average, nicely like we did yesterday and the day before on some of these, then I can just kind of cut it and then hold the rest and then let the rest work and be patient on it. Yeah, like I said, one of the biggest edges, like having a large account gives you a big edge. It really does. Like again, I'm great on the year doing this. We make money doing it. And it's one of the things like trading a large account is a much easier edge. Yeah, Salesforce, man, CRM went absolutely crazy. Look at CRM. This thing had good EPS, good sales, way better than expected guidance on both the first quarter and the fiscal year 23 projections. And this thing skyrocketed up, man. This thing is up to 194s right now. Closed yesterday at about 160s. So huge percentage gap up. Roughly a 15% gap up from earnings yesterday. So a big gap up for sure on this one. But yeah, huge move for them. Yeah, yeah. Non-farm data is going to influence this, I think, some too. But yeah, here's my Twitter post. We made a really funny Twitter post yesterday, man, after the Tesla investor show. So we made this post yesterday. We said, what is this? Wrong answers only. And we got some really funny answers. We got some really funny answers here. If you want to check out the answers to this, or if you want to participate in it, follow me on Twitter at Beginner Trades. But yeah, what is this? This was the next gen picture from Tesla's investor day. So tell me what you guys think. What is that? Wrong answers only. Vote on that. Or go again. If you want to participate in this, here's the link to it. It's fun, man. A lot of people commented. It was fun. Hey, what's up, Beach? But yeah, if you look at my Twitter account, if you keep scrolling on my Twitter account, you'll see the exit of Microsoft here. I got out of Microsoft before AMC's earnings call. So yeah, here it is right here, where I said scale out of Google on today's rip. Not too bad overall. Another green swing trade. Going to let the last 75 shares work, which I took a little bit more off yesterday. So I was letting 75 shares work. I had 400 plus. You can see here is like 425. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional, of course. But yeah, I scaled out of this on the 28th. So about 3 days ago, I started cutting it. So hey, thank you for the follow. TRKA. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about TRKA for the last few days here. I know it's a high short float stock. The range is just small for me, at least. I don't know. Maybe it's not small percentage-wise because it's so cheap, but for me, it's just like, Again, I'm waiting for 8 a.m. so I can, or I'm waiting for 7. So I can probably buy a little bit of Microsoft is what I'm looking at. Microsoft, with their Chat GPT investment, they are trending all the way, like pretty close to the lows. I mean, they're at 240s right now. 212s is the low of the year. So Microsoft, I might add a little bit to that. Pulling back now. Small trade probably. I might buy like 50 shares of this. So like if you look at Microsoft here, and again, I'm not saying you should buy it. I really don't know. I'm just kind of looking at a 20-day chart when you zoom out here. It's been on a pretty big dip over the last, I don't know, couple weeks. So I think there's an argument for there. European CPI might be right underneath me, Bobby. It might be right here. It could be like right here. Just a weatherman it like all up in this area right here. You know, it might be right there. It could be. And we're still in Google. I'll probably let Google work a little bit. I don't think I'm going to cut it yet. I could add a little bit to my Google trade again, too. I don't know whether I want to yet, though. TRKA withdrew offering. Macy's came out with their numbers. See what they showed up as. Oh, here they go. So Macy's 188, 158 expectations. Revenue. A revenue beat as well. So slightly worse than expected outlook, but Macy's, aside from that, reacting positively here. Gapping up to 2150s on this earnings report. You can kind of see their numbers right there. We posted them into the chat. Yeah, we got some discounts. I'll probably start buying stuff up now. But again, I'm not telling you to buy it. I have no idea what we're going to get. Again, genuinely no idea what we're going to get. A dog barking at. All right, guys. Macy pushing up to 2150s here. 2150s. Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. All right, yeah, it was just my son waking up early. Yeah, so market's bouncing back a little bit. Look at Macy's run though here. So Macy's all the way up to 2150s. Again, Tesla got pretty beat up over the Investor Day conference. What do you guys think is going to happen today? Let's look at the poll numbers here. So the poll so far, we got over 100 votes. 57% think we're going to get a bull reaction. 43% think we're going to get a bear reaction. Yeah, I don't think we break the lows of the year. I think that's still pretty far away. You know, like I said, to put it into perspective, the lows of the year are way down here. You know, like even with the big drops that we've had over the last couple of days, the market is still only down about this much. You know, to hit the lows, we got to drop. Like that. And so, I mean, you know, I don't know. Stressla. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably look to buy up maybe Microsoft. Yeah, last year, I just mean the trailing 12-month lows is what I mean. So when I look at it, the 52-week low, I guess is the proper stock term for it. But when I say lows of the last year, or lows of the year, what I mean is not this year. This year's only 3 months, 2 months. What I'm referencing though is the last 52 weeks, which is this. You know, most of the time, stock traders use like 52 weeks as the, you know, the lows we're looking at. That's what I'm looking at here is the 52-week low, which is down here at 350, roughly. If we're looking at lows on the last year, it would be like the lows of the year would be 378 or so. Yeah, 378 would be the lows of of this year. So I mean, we could hit that as well, but it's less likely. You know, put up a 6-month chart here. The lows of this year would be right around this spot, right here. All right, Macy's still pumping up a little bit. Again, once the bell rings in 15 minutes, not the bell, but once I could probably trade in a few minutes. Yeah, we could see it with the next hike for sure, but the next hike's not until March 22nd or so. We still got like 3.5 weeks, which is possible. I'm not saying you're wrong, Mark. Again, I genuinely don't know. But I think the lows of the last 52 weeks are pretty far away. But again, we could hit them. Any big economic data could make us crash, of course. I hope not, but I mean, it could happen. All right, guys. Macy's up to 23.20s here. 23.20s on Macy's. Still got about 13 minutes before I can actually take a trade. Yeah, for sure, Mark. 100%. I agree with you there, bro, for sure. John, on TRKA, we are at the 200 EMA. Most likely to cross north this morning. Big deal for this play. Yeah, maybe, man. Again, I'm just not much of a penny stock trader, to be honest, man. I got to be real about it. I'm just not really much of a penny stock trader. Anytime I hear anybody hyping up penny stock, again, I usually just start to say, okay, well, they're probably just, holding some big shares in it and they want it to go up. Because, again, I don't, and maybe I'm wrong there. Again, I don't know, but I'm just skeptical of penny stocks, brother. Anytime anybody really mentions a penny stock over and over again, I just assume that they're in it. They're in it with size and, they really want it to go up. Very rarely will these things actually go up long term, even if TRKA, I know TRKA has like a large short float, right? That's what the big hype is the short float is about 20 to 40% is what it looks like. 20 to 50% on some places. On Morningstar, they have it at 50%. But even with that, I'm skeptical. The range is very small for TRKA. It's not a big range stock, Yeah, for sure, Mark. Honestly, I agree. Yeah, you can get in and out. You don't have to hold it. Yeah, good luck. Like I said, I hope y'all make money on TRKA. I'm not hating on you guys. And again, I'll be as honest as I can, which is that I really have no idea anything about this company. I will say the last what is this? I will say the last 3 months is pretty impressive. They've gone from 9 cents to 50 cents essentially. I mean, the year before that was, they went from 140s to 9, but the rebound has happened over the last couple weeks. The question is, do we break over 50 cents and continue here? We're at about 47 cents. 50 cent level is right here. So it'll be interesting to watch. We'll watch it, I hope you guys make some money on it. Yeah, but HKD was a different story, Jeremy. It wasn't a conventional short squeeze. It was something with like they restricted shareholders from selling or something, and that propelled the stock really, really high short term, and then it came all the way back down. And so the point is, HKD was an outlier situation that wasn't the same as TRKA, from what I understand. I guess the easiest way to put it is like, I'm skeptical of penny stocks. I'm not skeptical. I'm skeptical because most people that trade them lose money, and specifically new traders get wrapped up in them. They get super hyped up about them. They think they're going to get rich from penny stocks, and maybe some of them do, but I think it's a very, 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 very small percentage. I think a large majority of penny stocks are going to fail. A large majority of them, I'll put it this way: every time somebody mentions a penny stock, it's almost always down on the year. Now, you can day trade those, but I find day trading futures more consistently profitable than day trading penny stocks anyway. But again, I will say that I can't knock anybody for what they trade. You know, good luck. I hope you guys make some money on it. And it'll be interesting to see. It has had a good run over the last 3 months or so. Yeah, I mean, I know some other big YouTubers might be making videos about it, but to be honest, if I look back at the history of some of these big YouTubers, my guess is that their picks are generally wrong. You know, I'll put it this way, and I'm not mentioning anybody specific. Like, I don't want the drama, so I'm not really mentioning anybody specific here because I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But what I will say is that most of the YouTubers that cover penny stocks are wildly wrong. And specifically pick videos, the ones that are like, this penny stock's gonna go crazy. You know, generally they're wrong. You know, if you look back at the history of them, you could probably go back and look at every time they've called out a penny stock and then look at those penny stocks now, and a large majority of them are going to be down at least 20% relative to when they were called out. So I don't know. Again, I'm skeptical, guys. I'm skeptical, you know. Again, y'all have to understand the niche I'm in. Like, my job is to help traders and tell them the truth, right? And to me, that's the truth, you know. And again, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I really don't know. But to me, that's the truth, which is that most penny stocks are sketchy, and new traders shouldn't be messing with them, you know. Yeah, that's kind of what I do as well, Mark. What's up, DC? Have AI plays lost their luster? I mean, Microsoft's dipped over the last 3 weeks. It's fallen from 275 down to 240s. So again, it might be time for me to buy that up. But again, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes new companies surge in the world, 100%. But the likelihood that you're going to pick the ones that do is very low. You know, it's like most actual big cap companies like don't start off as penny stocks. Most of them IPO and then immediately go to mid cap territory at least, right? So very few of them start off as penny stocks and end up succeeding. And so it's not like every big company was once a penny stock. That's not true. You know, actually, most big companies that are genuinely successful right now never were penny stocks ever. And so, you know, I think that's a common misconception that people have. Like Facebook, for instance, IPO'd and immediately went to what, like 20 or 30 bucks post IPO. So, I mean, I don't know. I think again, my problem with them is that new traders get talked into buying them, and they day trade them. You know, you can say, oh, day trade them, don't hold them. A lot of times people day trade them, and then they end up getting stuck with losing trades, and then they just sit on them for years. And the stock chart over the long term of that trade just kind of goes like this, you know, until eventually they get delisted and they're worthless, and the trader lost everything they invested into them. Yeah, BBIG. And again, maybe TRKA is different. Again, I'm not saying it's not. You know, you better believe if TRKA runs up more, people are going to be like, aha, you know, and that's fine. Listen, I hope y'all make money. BBIG, great example of this. You know, CEI, they reverse split, I'm pretty sure, but great example of this. You know, SOS, same thing. They reverse split, though, but same thing. So we got a little pullback here. Look at the pullback we've gotten here. So is it time to buy a dip here is the question. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, Amazon maybe, but that was 30 years ago, you know. Uh, and yeah, big returns if you held it, but very few people did. Google IPO'd at $85. All right, Facebook IPO'd, I think it was like 30 something dollars. Like Roku, there's just so many examples. Like most large companies, not all of them. I mean, you can find the ones that don't, of course, that were penny stocks one day. But that's my point, is that when you look at all the large companies right now and you look at how many of them were actually penny stocks, it's not most of them. Most of them started off as mid caps or better, to be honest. Again, Google IPO'd in 2004 at $85. Uh, Facebook IPO'd at $38. And again, I could go on and on, to be honest, but again, some of them start off as penny stocks. I'm not saying it's all of them, but yeah, SPACs. Again, I'll put it this way. Investing in penny stocks generally is one of the biggest sucker bets new traders will make. Right? When new traders should be putting their money in blue chip healthy companies that are going to give you on average 8 to 12% a year, they instead chase waterfalls by putting money in penny stocks, and a large majority of them lose money, you know. And that's just kind of how it goes. Like I said, somebody said it earlier, it's a rite of passage for new traders. I did it too. When I first got started trading, I traded penny stocks. But as my account grew and as I learned to trade more and more, I kind of strayed away from them. Yeah, but I don't know if these are the ones you really want to bring up. Clove, terrible chart, down from 390 at the highs down to 86 cents at the lows. WKHS, terrible company, went from 530 at the highs this year down to 140 at the lows. Almost all of these have dropped like 80% plus in the last year. So it's like, sure, you can make money on them, but what happens is a lot of people will trade them and then they'll get stuck and they'll lose money and then they'll just refuse to cut it and they'll lose their whole investment. I have one share of HKD, one share. Tesla just bounced up to 190s, guys, so that looks good. Let's see the SPX here. Or let's see the dollar index. Yeah, I mean, anonymous, like I said, man, no offense. I disagree with that outlook, brother. I think the easiest money in the market is buying blue chip healthy companies or a broad market ETF like the S&P 500 and sitting on it for 10, 15, 20 years and getting out. Again, the best way I could look at this is if you look at the S&P 500, okay? You look at the S&P 500. If you would have bought this thing 20 years ago, the S&P 500, if you would have bought this thing 10 years ago, all right, if you would have bought this thing 10 years ago, you would over 3x your money in 10 years. Over 3x your money. You buy $100,000 worth of the S&P 500, you're going to have $3,500 or $350K by today. That is the biggest edge you have in the market. Now, we can say, oh, well, you know, that was only the last 20 years. It really isn't. Like, this is back, like, you can look at the real history of the S&P 500 back, not just the last 20 years, but you could look, we could zoom all the way back to, let me keep going here. Hold on. We could zoom all the way back to 1928. 1932. It was at $4. All right, so it's gone from $4 to $39.51. Like, long term, the biggest edge is in blue chip healthy companies. You know, that's the reality of it. Long term, that's the biggest edge you'll ever get in the stock market. You know, and again, playing against that edge, like trying to short things long term, or you know, missing out on that edge is, like I said, it's generally a sucker's bet. It's a rookie bet that new traders who think the world is going to burn and like that don't understand the true history of the market get into. No offense to anybody here, but like that's how I really look at it. Maybe I'm wrong, you know. I think even if we do crash, I think we'll rebound within a couple years and be right back to where we were, you know. So it's like people could short term you can argue whatever, or long term you could argue we might go down. Long term we're gonna go up, and that's just a fact, you know. All right, guys, so we're probably going to start buying up a little bit of Microsoft right now. A little bit of Microsoft here. It's rebounding some. We're not going to buy a lot, but we'll buy some. All right, so we just got in 25 shares of Microsoft. 25 shares, average 247.30s. We're going to start it off at 25, and we'll look to add a little bit to it if it dips down to 254s or so. Might add up to maybe 100 shares, give or take. Maybe up to 100 shares. We are now green on our Google trade again as well. Microsoft, Tesla bounced it up a little bit too. Look at Tesla. So Tesla rebounded, then rejected, it looks like, at 191s. Yeah, for sure, Mark. 100%, man. Right, 100%. NCAL holds true for most investments held over years. 100%, man. Again, it needs to be blue chips. Like, you can't do this with mid caps. You know, like, you can't do it with freaking BYND. Okay, you can't do it with Peloton. All right, like, you got to do it with actual companies that are really well known. The easiest way to do it, and what Warren Buffett actually suggests, is do it with companies you know. You know, that you know outside of the market, right? So that you know outside of stock market, like Coca-Cola, Apple, Disney, Google, Amazon, you know, like blue chips, like healthy companies. Those are going to go up long term. And really what my swing trading strategy is, and my swing trades have been, you know, nicely profitable. I'm green on the year doing it. One of the ways I do it is I just look for big overreactions to the downside short term. It's my favorite way to trade. I look for big drops short term, and I buy that dip. I'm kind of thinking about Tesla right now. But I look for big pullbacks. I buy the dip and I'll sit on it. And I'll hold it really long term if I need to, but most of the time I'm taking profit within a couple weeks. And again, I am thinking about Tesla right now. There's the SPY bounce up. Maybe I'll buy a little bit of Tesla. What's a reasonable share size here? Maybe 25 shares for the time being. All right, we're in 25 shares of Tesla. We'll see how this works. We'll play around with that. All right, market's pumping up to 394s here. That's nice. Dragging my Google trade back up. Ford is nicely green today. What did AMC end up doing? Yeah, so again, jobless claims data drops today at 8:30. Expectations for this data are for 195,000 jobless claims, 195K. Tesla testing the lows, though. Luckily, like I said, it's 25 shares, so we're down like $11 or $12, so nothing really super worrisome. But if Tesla starts really breaking down, we'll have to cut it. But yeah, jobless claims numbers expected to show up at 195,000, 195K. Initial claims are expected to show up at, or continuing claims expected to show up at 1.665 million. Yeah, market's bouncing back a little bit after gapping down in pre. Well, the dump is just the disappointment from the investor day is really what it is. So like the fall is really just disappointment from investor day. Big lots. Big lots is gapping up, but they don't move much in pre. AMC all the way down to 650s. Give it all the gains back. Yeah, I think a lot of investors were disappointed in what they did. I mean, I know they talked about pivoting the world to more sustainable EV future, and I understand that, and I think that's good. They also talked about their margins improving and becoming more profitable as a company overall, and that's great. But I think what a lot of people expected was a Cybertruck date, hard date for the Cybertruck, because people have been waiting years and years and years for this thing. So they're wanting a hard date for the Cybertruck. They're also wanting, a little bit more flash, I guess. Right? I think the problem with the investor day is this. Okay, I think the master plan is good, but I think when they spoke during the investor day, they spoke like engineers, and I think that made a lot of people not really understand what they were talking about. I think they spoke like engineers when they should have spoken like marketers. They should have had conviction in their voice. Some of the people talking were just kind of, too lax. They were too calm. Like they should have been hyped up, super conviction filled. Like, hey guys, this is happening, and they just weren't. So I think when they don't announce the Cybertruck debut date, when they don't talk about any new lines, I think people are gonna be disappointed, and that's what happened. That's why Tesla ended up dropping as big as it did. And it is what it is. Again, I'm not saying I don't want Tesla to go up. I'm saying I'm speculating on why we dropped, and I think that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Cybertruck's going to do great when it goes live. The question just is, when does that happen? All right, so we're now green on our Microsoft trade. Yeah, we bought a little bit of Tesla here too. We're still red on it, but flat mostly. Apple bouncing back, kind of dragging the market back with it. I mean, Elon actually confirmed what or said something that I've been saying for a while now, which is that like people can hate on EV and that's fine, but EVs are without question the future. And if you don't know what I mean by that, EVs are certainly the future in that the reason they're the future is that they're more efficient. They're just simply more efficient, and that's a very obvious thing. Okay, they're faster than gas-powered vehicles. Like I said, a Bugatti goes what, 9.9 seconds, quarter mile. 9.9 seconds for a Bugatti, which is like $1 million+ car. The Tesla Plaid does 9 second flat, quarter mile stock, for way less money, for like 10x less money, because EVs are faster. They're more efficient. You get better mileage on EVs. Half of them drive themselves, or most of them drive themselves. And so the efficiency that comes with EVs is too hard not to overlook. It's too hard to overlook, I should say. I mean, and so I think the efficiency is going to make them future. Yeah, like that's going to be the future. Now, over time, they'll get better at disposing batteries. They'll get better at the environmental impact. Regardless of the environmental impact, they're more efficient, is what it really is. Like, they're just more efficient vehicles. And I think anybody that understands efficiency understands that. Better mileage, faster, more quiet. They're just more efficient vehicles. And I don't think it's really arguable either. Yeah, but to be honest, Manuel, with our current, like he said, that's going to destroy the EV market. To be honest, that would destroy a large majority of cars out here anyway. Like, people act like your gas-powered vehicle is going to be okay in that. Like, bro, how do you think your gas-powered vehicle starts, Manuel? Like, seriously, how do you think it starts? You're not going to start your own car with that. It doesn't matter if you're an EV, a Tesla, or you're a Toyota. It's still not going to start if that happens. You know why? It's because it's still powered by chips and electricity, man. One is just fully powered with it, and the other one is just kind of halfway powered with it, right? But neither one of them are going to start after that, I promise you, man. The only ones that will start are the really old muscle cars and like cars pre-1960. And to put it into perspective, he said, oh, an EV will take out all the EVs, or an EMP will take out all the electric vehicles. Bro, that would take out all the cars, except for like pre-1960s, Again, they're still powered by electricity, man, Ford has applied for a patent in the U.S. that would give vehicles the ability to repossess themselves. What? That's funny, man. That's crazy, but hey. All right, so we're green in Tesla now. Microsoft dipping a little bit. Yeah, so I love Tundras. Tundras are cool. Great trucks. Yeah, that'll be crazy. Yeah, I'm not talking about hybrids though straight. I'm talking about like non-hybrids. Cars are still not going to start if an EMP hits, man. Again, think about how they start. They use chips. Like the only ones that are going to be okay in that regard are old cars pre-1960. I'm not talking about hybrids. I'm talking about all of them, gas powered as well. That's the biggest misconception, is that like, oh, well, like, gas powered cars are going to be safe during an EMP. No, they're not, man. A large majority of them are not going to start. A large majority of them. Again, what it is big oil propaganda. Is what it is. It's big oil propaganda. Like, oil runs the world. Don't get it twisted, right? So of course, like, one of the biggest threats to them is EV brand is like electric vehicles, 100%. And so like, I'm sure there's a lot of propaganda out there, kind of, saying, hey guys, and that's fine. But a large majority of cars right now are going to be dependent on electricity in one way or another to start. Yeah, all good. Straight. Yeah. Yeah, bro. We had a Tundra. We had a Tundra a couple years ago that had like almost 300,000 miles on it. And that thing still ran like a champ, bro. We eventually got rid of it. I think we handed it down to somebody, but that thing ran like a champ. It had like 200 and something thousand miles on it, on a big, truck, V8 truck, and so that thing is still doing it. Yeah, the 1986. Well, yeah, the Mustangs kind of fell off a cliff after the 1970s. After the 1970s, after the environmental laws of the 1970s, a lot of the muscle cars went away. They were just never cool again, except for maybe like Mustangs. The problem is that like the prime muscle car, like 1966 to 1969, 1970 maybe. After what it was like early 70s, after the early 70s, they started doing like they changed the rules with regards to like environmental impact on muscle cars, and basically they just became really, really slow from like the 1970s up to like the 1990, really 1990 or so. And in a way it was actually good because it made those car brands have to create better, more environmentally efficient vehicles, and so they eventually got their speed again, but it took them a couple decades to do it, really. All right, like I said, guys, we bought Microsoft. I might add a little bit. We're bought Tesla as well. We're pretty flat on Tesla. We're actually green on we're still green on Google. Ford is another one we're green in. Talking about cars, Ford, we're in 50 shares left of Ford, green on the remaining position left there too. All right, guys. So, anybody watching spring trading in baseball, man? I haven't been paying attention to it. Yeah, man. Who knew Investor Day would be freaking 4 hours long? 4 hours long. All right, guys. So yeah, Tesla down there. SPY, nice little bounce back over the last couple of minutes. Apple rebounding. Tesla is up there. I know we had some other earnings dropping today. Let me see if we had anything that actually came out. We had Best Buy did drop their earnings here. So Best Buy came out with 221 EPS profit. Let me see what Best Buy did. Big Lots did drop their numbers as well. Best Buy posted an EPS of 261, beat the 211 estimate. Sales beat expectations as well. I don't know if it's guidance. Yeah, guidance was lower than expected. So 671 estimated fiscal year 24 adjusted EPS guidance, 570 to 650 expected. So Best Buy, better than expected EPS, better than expected sales, worse than expected guidance. That's what happened here. Better than expected EPS, better than expected sales, worse than expected guidance for Best Buy. We'll put that number up on the screen right there. We're also going to put a timer up because we do have time. All right, so here's the timer. So that is when jobless claims numbers come out. Yeah, guidance will influence it. Nothing trumps anything. Yeah, man. Somebody said, an hour. Somebody said it was an hour long. I was like, man, then that thing lasted for 4 hours. I had a headache by the end of it. I root for the Cardinals. Yeah, I'm rooting for the Astros. I think the Astros have got a chance too. Again, I mean, the Astros got the best pitching in baseball for sure. No, I'm not gonna buy I'm not gonna buy SI just because it's sketchy. You know. What I mean by that is, like, if you look at the daily chart, it looks pretty rough. This thing has gone from 162. Again, mid caps are the biggest risk to investors, in my opinion. Again, understand, like, mid caps are the largest risk to investors ever. All right, if you want to know how, it's because people treat them like blue chips. So they treat them like they're a sure thing long term when they're not. That's the biggest risk. Is so people are more willing to hold them long term. People get overly hyped about them, kind of like penny stocks, but they're way more expensive. And when they fail big. You know, that's the risk with penny stock or with mid caps. Again, it's one of the reasons I stick to only blue chips for the most part when I'm holding anything. Lowe's earnings was yesterday, I believe. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're reeling from now is the stimulus. Yeah, Salesforce, huge rip. Yeah, but if you hate Altuve, man, you're just following the crowd, bro. Altuve didn't cheat. It's been statistically proven that, number one, Altuve almost certainly didn't cheat relative to everybody else, right? So people can hate on Altuve, but he was one of the only ones that all the other players agreed that didn't cheat. You know, he actually did get a bad tattoo. The reason he didn't want people to take off his shirt is because he actually did have a bad tattoo. And he showed that tattoo afterwards, you know, after the thing, because or it was something like that. Like, there was a real genuine reason he didn't want to take off his shirt that had nothing to do with him cheating. If you look at the statistics, right, if you look at how he performed during those seasons where they accused them of cheating and how he performed afterwards, Altuve was just a straight line. If anything, he did a little bit better after, you know. And so people hated on Altuve. Like I said, people are just mad their team got beat. That's really all it is. People are just mad their team lost and we beat them. That's all it really is. Like the Astros, when you're that good, you're gonna get haters, and that's all it really is. When you make it to the World Series 2 times in 2 years, you're gonna get haters. Bregman as well. I hated on Bregman even as a little bit. I thought Bregman could have been one of the cheaters, but Bregman kind of woke up last year as well. The problem is, like, the problem with people who are so upset about the Astros is that it's like, bro, y'all are trying to act like other teams didn't do this. Like, listen, baseball is a game of corked bats, pine tar, okay, finding an edge any way you can, you know. And so it wasn't even outside the rule set to do what the Astros did. It wasn't outside the rules. You know, they changed the rules after the Astros did it, but, like, you can't get mad at the Astros for finding an edge any way they could. That's what baseball is. And other teams did it as well. And so, again, the big overwhelming hate mostly comes from people who are frustrated because their team isn't good and the Astros are. That's really what it is. Yeah, I couldn't find anything about PSNY earnings. I see them gapping up today. Again, I don't know what's Polestar's niche though. All right, like seriously, what's Polestar's niche? Like, I think if you're an up and coming EV brand, you have to separate yourself in some way. Tesla's the alpha one; everybody watches it. Lucid is kind of the luxury one. Neo has the overseas market. What is Polestar? Like, what separates them as an EV brand? And again, I'm not saying they don't have anything like that. I'm genuinely asking. Yeah, I mean, you can't really get mad at Harper for signing with the Phillies, right? Like in baseball, you got to go with the money. Like you can't be so loyal to an individual team that you take less money to stay with a specific team. That's just not how it's going to go most of the time. Like I said, Bryce Harper made $330 million from his Philly contract, right? $330 million. Nobody here would turn that down to stay with the Nationals. Nobody would. Everybody would say, okay, I'm gone. I know I would. And so it's like, yeah, people can hate, but like, again, $330 million, I can't really knock him for that. Let him make his money, man. Harper's good. Let him make his money. Apple at 144s right now. We are in Microsoft as well. Microsoft right around 247. We might add a little bit more to this. I don't know yet, though. We're thinking about it. Yeah, but what the Astros did wasn't illegal. Polestar is a Volvo division? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think I've heard that before. Again, I don't know much about Polestar. Tesla currently is at about 189.80s. Did you trade FNKO earnings? Nah. Bro, I had a guy used to come in here, bro, and he would get so mad at me for not liking FNKO as an investment. He would get so upset, like just super emotional about it. And he was telling me this stuff when FNKO was like way up here at like $15 and $20, if I remember correctly. And I eventually had to ban the guy because like he just was so emotional about it. I could like. We're going to disagree. Anybody here might disagree with me about individual stocks, but there's no reason to like call names and like just get super. The more people call names at me, the more I just assume they're emotional about their own positions. And we had a guy that was just really weird. The reason I won't put money into FNKO, into Funko Pop, is because trends change over time. There's risk in holding trendy things long term. Like clothing is a great example. Like I think Lululemon is a powerhouse company right now. They make so much money, and that's great. But the problem with me holding that long term is that as time goes on, fashion trends fade. They change. Okay, so like American Eagle 20 years ago was the biggest clothing store in the world. No, it wasn't the biggest in the world. Was American Eagle years ago was huge. Was huge. You know, American Eagle, Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister, all huge clothing companies 20 years ago, right? If you look at them now, they are nothing. They are over. They basically don't exist anymore. That is the risk of holding companies like Funko Pop long term, is that they might be the cool, trendy thing now. And I know they've been around for a few years, but again, I don't know. I think there's risks. I'm not saying it's going to go up. I think there's risks. Same thing with Lululemon. I think Lululemon makes so much money right now. They're a powerhouse. I live with, my daughter's 13. My wife loves Lululemon. They both shop at Lululemon. But again, just like Hollister, just like Abercrombie and Fitch, just like American Eagle, over time, those type of trends change, in my opinion. And that's too much risk to sit on long term. The only clothing brands that have really stayed around long term outside of like big luxury brands are like Ralph Lauren Polo, and maybe a few other ones like Levi's. But I think Lululemon is trendy, and I think over time that'll change. What do you think Ohtani will get this year contract-wise? I hope he gets a lot, man. I like Ohtani. So Ohtani's probably one of the greatest of all time right now, if not the greatest baseball player of all time. Ohtani is, like I said, just an amazing player. I hope he gets a big contract. I hope he gets something big. I think it'll probably be one of the largest in history. Yeah, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there's going to be other options for that. Lades. Oh, never mind. I see what your name is. But yeah, there's going to be other options for that. Is the point. Like, there's going to be other options for that. I think it'll be less than that, Justin. But I think it'll be close to that, somewhere around there. Hey, what's up, DK? All right, guys, we got about an hour before jobless claims numbers. About an hour. Yeah, SPY pulling back a little bit here. And again, we could add, we're holding a few shares of Tesla here. A few shares. We're holding a few shares of Microsoft now, too. We're going to add a little bit to Tesla down here, maybe 10 more. All right, just add a little bit more. Fix the average a little bit. Made it pretty close to where we are now. Now, let me check out Pawn's Camaro picture. All right, guys. So yeah, so we're pretty flat on Google here. We bought a little bit of Tesla. F and KO, big drop from earnings here. Again, looking at Apple, looking at Microsoft as well. Could add a little bit more to Microsoft. I don't know yet. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Richard? Yeah, trends change, man. Again, with clothing specifically, like clothing is one of those niches that I think the vulnerabilities for that change is higher. And so because of that, I'm not going to invest long-term in a clothing brand. It might succeed, but I think the risk is just too much. I think there's just too much risk to do that with clothing brands. I think the risk of investing in clothing brands long-term is just too high for me to feel comfortable. I would rather a more sure thing long-term bet than betting it all on clothing brands long-term. Again, I think it's risky. I think it's a very risky bet. All right, guys. So, yeah, just kind of sitting back waiting here. We do have jobless claims numbers that will influence markets for sure. All right, guys. So getting a little pullback. The market is right at the volume weighted average price. Tesla at 189.70s right now. All right, guys. So yeah, market's right around 330. So y'all buying the SPY. Do y'all think the SPY closes green today? Let me know. All right, so yeah, Microsoft's still right there. I kind of want to add to Microsoft. I don't know yet, but I kind of do want to add a little bit. Hey, what's up, Army? Thanks, man. TRKA breaking 50 cents. Hey, like I said, I genuinely want you guys to make money. I mean, I'm not going to mess with this, but hey, make y'all's money, man. It's up to 50 cents. Let's see if it keeps it up. Hey, what's up, Chris? Good morning, man. Good morning. Hey, what's up, Aaron? All right, guys. So TRKA up to 50. All right, guys. Tesla was an overreaction. Yeah, possible. It's certainly possible it was. Again, that's why I bought up a little bit. But again, I think I gotta have a long-term outlook. Snow dropped all the way down to 143s. Yeah, TRKA is just not my niche of trading. But it doesn't look terrible, you know. Yeah, we scaled into some more trades here. So TRKA back up to 50s here. You can see we're down about 25 bucks in Tesla. But again, I think I gotta let it work a little bit. I try to be patient with it, I think. Yeah, that's basically what it is. They gave the engineers microphones. 100%, man. I mean, again, I was saying it during the stream, but like the way they did that was wrong. Like the way they designed that press conference was wrong, man. They got to understand, like, bro, y'all are talking to investors here. You're not talking to engineers. Some of us might be engineers. Like I'm a front end developer, but I'm a dumb front end developer. I'm not even a back end developer. So like in the end, you gotta sell that stuff, man. They gotta sell it. They gotta hype it up. They gotta make it big. They gotta speak with conviction in that press conference. And they just didn't do any of that. They're like, yeah, guys, we're gonna create an electrical world, guys. Look at my PowerPoint presentation. And it just got dull. It got boring. It dragged on for 4 freaking hours. Again, I'm bullish on Tesla, but I thought they handled that press conference very wrong. What about snow here? Should I buy the snow dip? SI down 40% in an hour. Yeah, the Gigafactory in Mexico, everybody already knew about that, though. Yeah, he's not the best public speaker, you know. It is what it is. I mean, he's just not the best public speaker. We already knew that, though, you know. All right, guys, we got 45 minutes before jobless claims data comes out. 45 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'm not selling. I just bought it up, but I still thought the press conference, I thought the reaction was understandable. I'm not saying I wanted the reaction to happen, but I thought it was understandable. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a little bit underwhelming. Yeah, so again, I'm in Tesla small. We bought a little bit of Microsoft back this morning here. We'll see if we bounce as well. What else do we have coming out this week? We got jobless claims data. That should influence everything. We're still in Lyft here. Part of me wants to cut Lyft, though. I mean, I've been holding Lyft. My average on Lyft, we're down $30 in the trade, so it's not a big trade. So yeah, we're down 30 bucks in the trade. Our average is 1070s. So I could either add more to Lyft, which I guess I could. It's such a small trade. I want to add 15 shares, fix my average a little bit, I guess, here. But we'll give it time. Yeah, again, Elon, everybody knows he's not the best public speaker, you know. All right, love you. Is that my shirt? Huh? You got a stain on the front of it too, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, love you.
Okay.
All right, guys. Sorry, my daughter had to ask me something. No Padres cert. Astros here only. All right, guys. Market is pretty choppy ahead of this report here. We got 40 minutes before jobless claims numbers come out. All right, guys. So again, SPY right at 393.20s here. Tesla is essentially it's what's making the SPY gap down some. SPY gap down from 395s all the way to 393s. You know what I'm really happy about is that I can make money even when the market is dropping. I'm green on my swing trades on the long side here, so I'm very happy about that. We'll see if that continues. Lyft, we're still red on Lyft though, but again, I got to be patient with it. I think Ford, we're green on that one too. Google, we're still green on that one. We still got our one share of HKD. All right, guys. So SPY started to bounce back a little bit here. All right, guys, TRKA dipping down right at that 50-cent level. So I wonder if this is a psychological level here. Again, we're in Microsoft now. Let's put up like the 200 EMA, see where the 200 EMA is here. There we go. Tesla bouncing up a little bit. You see, we're down. We're pretty much break even. We're going to give that time to work here. Hopefully, jobless claims numbers come in positively here. Yeah, the data will be interesting. All right, market just pulled back some here. Tesla actually still up to, about where we entered here. There's the SPY down to 393. We'll see if we bounce there. We also have this low down here at 391.85, which is the low of pre-market yesterday. Or no, the low of pre-market this morning. And this is also the low. Let me see where the other low is. I know we dipped close to that a while back. Let me see. So yeah, this is the low, essentially right around where we are now, which is the low of the year so far. No, not quite the year. The low of the year is actually down here at 378. But the low of pre-market right there, we'll see what happens. Again, I think we dipped down there once already in pre-market, but yeah, so lower jobless claims numbers will probably be a negative thing. Higher jobless claims numbers will probably evoke a positive response in markets, I'm assuming here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming that's kind of how it's going to go. I personally just want to find one just like GameStop with a crazy floated squeeze. That doesn't happen all the time, man. Like, again, one of the biggest misconceptions, and I'm not talking about you, but like one of the biggest misconceptions from AMC traders who entered right around the GameStop craze is that squeezes like that are easy or happen a lot, right? Like the GameStop squeeze is the largest short squeeze in history. A lot of traders entered the market right around that GameStop squeeze, and they started looking at all these sketchy penny stocks acting like they were going to do the same thing. And then when they didn't, they cried manipulation. I've seen this happen to so many traders, right? Where they see GameStop squeeze. Some of them are new. A lot of the people that were covering GameStop were new, to be honest. Like a lot of those guys are new traders as well. They had only been trading for maybe like 6 months prior to GameStop squeezing. And so what happened is like they enter the market, they see GameStop go crazy, and they think that like squeezes like that are like a normal thing or that they have to happen. The problem is like the GameStop squeeze was the largest one in history. Hedge funds are not dumb. They're not going to obsessively short a meme stock again and lose billions of dollars easily. Like they're not going to do it anymore. They're not dumb people. They're some of the brightest minds in the world. They get headhunted out of Ivy League schools a lot of the time. And so another GameStop will be unlikely. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's going to be unlikely to find. Some stocks have really high short floats, and that's great, but it definitely isn't AMC. That's for sure. And it's one of those things where maybe we can find the next one, and another one might happen sometime soon, but it's not going to be anything easy to find. And I guess the point is like spending all your time looking for something like that is going to make you miss out on other stuff, because it's like the likelihood that it happens anytime soon is low. The likelihood that you find the specific highly shorted stock that ends up doing it is even lower. So just be careful. Yeah, I don't know how much we go up or down today. The expected numbers are 195, I believe. Let me make sure I'm right. I think it's 195. Yeah, 195 is what's expected for jobless claims. Non-farm productivity is expected to show up at 2.6%. 2.6% for non-farm productivity. And jobless claims are expected to show up at 195 for initial claims and 1.665 million for continuing. All right, so yeah, Microsoft just dipped again. We might add a little bit more to Microsoft as it pulls back some, maybe establishing like again 50 to 75 shares is my goal there. But again, I think we also have to just be kind of somewhat patient with it too. 195 is neutral. It's bad. Hey, thank you, Jetty. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out, waiting for the data to start here. We still got about 30 minutes before the actual data comes out. Got a little bit under 600 people here. Nvidia, what's Nvidia at, man? I saw Nvidia, the earnings run was crazy, you know. So here's Nvidia right now. SPY bounces up a little bit. Again, you can kind of see Tesla. We are pretty much flat down at about $10 here. Ford recalls 98,000 Ranger vehicles because the replacement front passenger airbag inflators may have been installed incorrectly. So yeah, that's dropping. Ford actually not down that much relative to some other stuff here. Yeah, I think the pitch clock is good. I think they needed to do that. I think banning certain parts of the shift is also good. AMC at 630s. We'll see if that holds. Again, we started to scale a little bit into Microsoft, and it is pulled back some more here. Again, we might keep adding to it. Try to get into maybe like 50 to 75 shares. Just again, I've said that a few times. We're going to try to scale into that. All right, guys, so we do have jobless claims numbers. If you don't know what jobless claims are, they're exactly as the name suggests. They are claims that people are not working, right? So it's kind of like unemployment data is what this is, right? So this is similar to unemployment data with regards to, it shows how many people are working versus not. Right now, the nuance of the market is simply that more people working has been interpreted as a negative thing. It's been interpreted as a negative thing because inflation is really bad, right? So anything that evokes more spending is bad, right? So again, more people working means more people spending. More people spending is bad, right? That's how the market's been interpreting jobless claims. And so again, I think what the market actually wants is higher than expected jobless claims numbers. Expectations are for 195 expectations. And so again, it's one of those things that I think a higher than expected number will evoke a positive response in markets. I think there's going to be a positive correlation between jobless claims and market activity. But again, it's definitely not set in stone. It's definitely not certain. I have no idea what we're going to get in that regard from jobless claims numbers. The reactions are certainly not consistent. I'll put it that way. Certainly not consistent. But yeah, getting some red action. I don't know what I want to do with Tesla. I'm in it small. Like, it's a very small trade. Microsoft is dipping too. I could add more to Tesla. If I do add more, it's going to be small. Yeah, we'll take it small. Apple has reportedly delayed the approval of an email app update with AI-powered language tools over concerns that it could generate inappropriate content for children, according to the Wall Street Journal. Nvidia dipped down and now spiked back up a little bit. So we had like a big drop and then a big bounce back for Nvidia here. The problem with Nvidia is that it's so high on the upside right now. You know, like it's been moving up straight over the last 6 months or so. Yeah. So again, a positive jobless claims number, I think, will evoke a positive reaction in markets. But we'll see. You can say Meta is undervalued. I don't know about Meta, man. I think the argument for Meta is not what about like PE or anything like that. The argument for Meta is the long-term strengths and weaknesses here. You know, Meta was down at 88 cents in November here. Now it's up to 170s. So, you know, in that regard, I think in terms of like the last 6 months, I think it could be argued that it's overvalued now. Again, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying you could argue that point. Again, I really don't know. I used to have a GoPad as a kid. That was fun. SPY looking good though. SPY up to 393s here. I'm assuming this is what, Apple related? Maybe Nvidia related? Yeah, Apple pumping up here. Not sure why they're up big, but yeah, I think the reality of it is nobody knows what kind of jobless claims numbers we're going to get. Again, we could try to predict, but again, I don't take any huge positions ahead of this report just because I think that betting big on any type of report like this ahead of it is usually just kind of a gamble. It's coin flip in nature, right? So yeah, Tesla falling down a little bit. We're not really down that much on it though. So I think I'll try to sit on it. We're only on 40 shares of Tesla here. So I'll try to sit on it. I could add some more, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather just stay with the risk now. Not down much at all. And so I think I got to just give it time. But Tesla dipping down. Costco getting more expensive. Fruit price inflation. I don't know, man. I'm not my wife. I'll have to ask my wife about fruit. I don't know. I think Bitcoin is going to drop. Yeah, where's crypto at right now? Bitcoin at 23.4s. All right, guys, we got about 25 minutes, a little bit less than half hour left. Yeah, so Apple retracing back down a little bit. Microsoft basically rebounded almost fully back from the big drop it made. I'm not sure why the drop happened, but Microsoft all the way back up. That's good to see. Yeah, what's up, A1? Yeah, things are good, man. Been killing it on my swing trades. Channel's been growing well, you know. Hope you're doing good, bro. Tesla's been mostly the one dragging the market down over the last few days. Yeah, I mean, again, the big thing, like what happens here a lot of the time, uh, pre-market manipulation from paid promos. What is getting manipulated by paid promos? um, but no, the problem that happens most of the time is like when I buy stuff like this, if I need to, right? So I'll hold these things for 6 months, a year plus if I really, really need to. But it's like for whatever reason, certain traders just hate specific stocks, right? So it's like if I'm like, hey guys, I'm buying this stock. Some people just get really upset about just buying individual stocks. Can y'all hear the music? Oh no, guys. Hold on. Yeah, the music went away. Yeah, hold on, guys. Sorry. For whatever reason, like I'm gonna have to disconnect and then reconnect. So hold on. But yeah, for whatever reason, some people just hate specific stocks for whatever reason. I think it's really something to understand. That, like, look, the biggest edge you'll ever have in the market is that long-term stocks are generally going to go up. Blue chips, only blue chips. It doesn't happen in. It doesn't happen in penny stocks. It doesn't happen in any of that stuff. Uh, there we go. All right, we should be back. Can y'all hear it now? Nah, man. I don't like Funko. What happened with audio? Did it just disappear? Or did something else play? Okay, so you still can't hear it. All right, there we go. No music. Okay, guy. All right, that should be better. All right, so yeah, it should be a little bit better now. All right, guys, we still got 20 minutes. 20 minutes before non-farm date payroll and jobless claims numbers come out. Yeah, Tesla dipping down a little bit. I don't know how long I'm willing to hold this. It's not gonna be super long. I'll put it that way. I could add a little bit more. We'll try adding into maybe 50 shares. But there we go. But by doing this, we're just gonna have a little bit smaller risk level, if that makes sense. Any news? Yeah, so Tesla bad investor day conference, bad investor day presentation. They didn't unveil anything new. And yeah, obviously the market's not loving that. Swing trading is holding overnight and holding anywhere between. Really, my version of swing trading might be a little bit different than what most people consider it. My version is holding anywhere between a couple weeks to a couple months if I need to. So it's kind of like a mix of like swing trading or investing is kind of what I do. Do you teach swing trading? I don't teach anything. Like I said, I mean, I teach people how I trade here, but I don't sell a course or sell a service, or I don't want to be a guru or a mentor. I'd rather just give people free content and let people do whatever they want without taking on the job as a mentor. Like I don't claim to be an expert. I don't want to be a guru. I'd rather just tell people I don't know what's going to happen, not tell people to do anything. I get people asking me all the time, hey John, should I buy ABC stock? And I almost always say no. I have no idea whether you should buy a specific stock or not. You know. Crypto is down a bit. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, sometimes if I'm really correct short term, a swing trade will turn into a much longer term hold, or sometimes a swing trade will be a day trade fast too. You know. All right, again, Microsoft's looking pretty good. We're bouncing back nicely. We got a nice average there now. Tesla bouncing back a little bit as well. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, I'm not in a huge position that's going to really hurt me or anything on Tesla. Again, I don't trust it enough to be honest here. If I'm being completely real, I just don't trust it enough to take a big position there. All right, guys. But yeah, we do have jobless claims numbers dropping in about 20 minutes or so, 20 minutes, give or take, for jobless claims numbers. Should be very relevant to the market, should influence inflation fears or inflation sentiment, I guess is the best way to put it. We'll see what happens, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to beat or miss jobless claims numbers? Looking at the actual poll numbers, we're 51-49 split down the middle here. So 49% think we're going to get a bullish reaction from jobless claims. 51% think we're going to get a bearish reaction. Let me do my Twitter post. All right, so yeah, Tesla dipping down big too. Bounced it up a little bit though. It's not that bad. All right, so again, we did a Twitter poll as well. Bull or bear? Vote on the Twitter poll here. Bull or bear? And let me post this link so you can see it. Make this one a couple hours long. All right, so Tesla bouncing back nicely for me. Microsoft bounced all the way back to where we were before anyway. Name something that Elon Musk can't buy. Macy says we believe the discretionary spending will be under pressure across income tiers. All right, guys, we still got about 15 minutes here, 15 minutes before the data release. Let's see if Tesla ends up bouncing back here. Again, this data release is going to influence everything. We're pretty flat in both Microsoft and Tesla right now, but we are holding some positions. Again, we have Apple dipping down. What would y'all rather me watch in the middle here? So we have Apple up, but would y'all rather watch something else in the middle here? We have Apple up currently. Tesla on the right, the SPY on the left. During the jobless claims report, we'll probably put up the dollar index. Is the stream lagging for anybody else? Again, is the stream lagging for anybody else? Let me know. Google? Yeah, we're still in Google. You can kind of see the trade. Oh, Google's ripped up nicely here. Yeah, you can see we're still in Google with 50 shares. We've been holding this for a while now, but we made some nice money on it. Our average is 88.93s. It's at 90.75s right now. I don't really start to... this is where my average was at 90.50s on the previous position. So I've kind of documented this specific level here to know where we watch it. Yeah, it's not lagging for me, but... Stream seems good. Okay, good. No lag. No. All right, so most people are lagging. So if you're lagging, it's probably on your end. Yeah, we can put Bitcoin up. Yeah, there's BTC. Bitcoin at 23.4s. So Bitcoin popped up some as well. Let's see if the rest of the market rips too. We did our jobless claims at poll. We asked people, 71% are bearish on Twitter, 29% are bullish. Non-farm productivity and jobless claims data. Again, jobless claims, we'll put this number up on screen here, but jobless claims are expected to show up at 195K. Non-farm is expected to show at so yeah, non-farm productivity data is expected to show up at 2.6% quarter over quarter for the fourth quarter. So again, 2.6%. Let's see what that data shows. Yeah, honestly, Microsoft's actually starting to pay. Good. Yeah, I think I think Tesla's interesting for a few reasons. The main one here, and the main reason I might just kind of sit on this trade on Tesla is I think sometime this year they're going to debut the Cybertruck, right? I think they're going to actually start selling the Cybertruck this year. At least that's what they said. And I think if that happens, I think the Cybertruck's going to break records. You know, you could say, oh, the Cybertruck's ugly. And something I talked about yesterday is a lot of people are like, oh, no, bro, the Cybertruck's ugly. It doesn't matter. What the Cybertruck does is it turns heads. Regardless of why it turns heads, that thing turns heads. Again, the example I always use is that like a year ago, if I saw a Tesla driving around, I would be like, oh, wow, a Tesla. Maybe 2 years ago, I'd be like, oh, man, look at that Tesla. It's a Tesla. Wow. It was like a status symbol. It was unique. You didn't see them a lot. At this point in time, I look outside, bro, I see 5 Teslas driving around. Okay. And so they've become less of a status symbol and they're becoming certainly less unique outside when you see them driving around. I'm green on Microsoft, by the way, guys. I am now effectively green on Microsoft. And so with that, I think the Cybertruck's going to turn heads. And because of that, I think people are going to want it because it turns heads. And that's going to break sales records. I think that's going to make Tesla rip up. And I think it's going to make a unique spotting of Tesla cars again. And I think that's going to make it break records, in my opinion. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think. But I think if they do announce the Cybertruck this year, then Tesla's going to go up. I think, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, you know. And again, it's fine to give your projections here. Again, the problem with a lot of people is they're like, no, this is going to happen, or like, this is going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I might be wildly wrong here, but you know, you got certain people in chat that are like, no, this is going to happen. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But like, always understand, nobody really knows. We can only speculate. Right, for sure. PMI doesn't drop today. Jobless claims drops today. Bitcoin heavily manipulated? Yeah, water's wet, man. You know, that's always been the case, brother. You know, Bitcoin's always been influenced like that, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't matter why it turned heads, bro. It turns heads regardless, you know. All right, Bitcoin's starting to bounce back up. So is Microsoft. Microsoft were now nicely green in this one, too. So Microsoft were green in. We'll see if it continues. Yeah, I think the Cybertruck is definitely a towing car or a towing truck. I think it's going to be able to tow really well. Again, maybe I'm wrong, but again, we're starting to move really nicely in the green for Microsoft here. We'll let it work a little bit more, though. We added a little bit on the dip. We'll let it work a little bit more. Too much 100x trading in Bitcoin. Yeah, I feel you, man. All right, Tesla bouncing back a little bit at 187s now, still bouncing. We'll see what Microsoft does. Again, we are in Microsoft. I wouldn't mind taking a little bit off of Microsoft ahead of this report, though. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Yeah, it does kind of look like a warthog in Halo. That's true. It does kind of look like a Halo warthog. And again, we'll see how jobless claims influences everything. Yeah, well, Microsoft's actually green. I'm green on my Microsoft trade already, too. All right, guys, 6.5 minutes. A little bit over that. We really got about 7 minutes, but that's okay. All right, Tesla bouncing back. Let's see if we can break back over 190 here. Microsoft right at the previous closing price. Like if you look at Microsoft here, it is exactly at the previous closing price. And so again, we're technically green in Microsoft. I'd like to see it bounce back a little bit more. Again, I wouldn't mind taking some profit off of this. But you know, either way, we're flat on it. So, or we're slightly green on it. So that's always good to have a little bit of profit heading into it. SPY just rejected here. I'm assuming it's from Apple. Yeah, Apple pulling back under VWAP. If jobless claims are higher, it probably will evoke a positive response in markets because more people working means more spending, which is bad. So less people working, which is jobless claims higher, will probably equal a better response in markets. Probably. Again, we don't know for sure, though. So with jobless claims lately, there's been a positive correlation, Han. So like higher jobless claims lately has equaled a positive market response, but it's not a set in stone thing. It's not a for sure thing. I'll put it that way. All right, guys, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. The Mexican president says they will launch an anti-inflation plan with Latin American countries. Has spoken with Brazil, Colombia, Cuba, and Argentina. Yeah, we'll see if we get a gap fill. Since I'm pretty flat on Tesla, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of this off. It will cause me to be down a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and take, you know, a third of that position off ahead of this report. Because if it comes in down, I don't want to be too extended in a trade, you know, so I'd rather just take the small L now and see if we get a positive reaction here. And if we do, we'll still be okay. Kind of risk adverse measure there. Well, yeah, conventionally higher jobless claims numbers are worse, and conventionally lower jobless claims numbers, meaning more people working, is conventionally better. But right now with inflation markets, it's the opposite. At least it has been. All right, Microsoft, we're back green in it again, so that'll give me at least some cushion ahead of this report. Yeah, I'm just covering the news, guys. Just covering the news. Again, 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. All right, guys. 3 minutes, team. Let's do this. Again, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. I don't know, Kieran. Why can't you, man? All right, SPY at 393.13. Again, green on Microsoft again. That's nice. Looking at our poll numbers here, we do have a poll. About 900 votes on the poll so far. 52% think we're going to get a bear reaction. Yeah, we'll put the dollar index up here in the middle. So we'll put the Dixie up in the middle to watch how that influences everything. There's the dollar index at 104.90s. Again, Microsoft's still pushing up. Tesla bouncing back up too. I get about 2.5 minutes, guys. 2.5 minutes. All right, guys, 1.5 minutes. We're going to turn the timer off. We're going to get everything ready here, get our sources ready so we can try to read this data fast as it comes out. Get a few different sources up here. All right, guys. Again, 1.5 minutes. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit the notification bell. We got a little bit under 1,000 people here. So again, if you haven't already sub, hit the notification bell. We'll see if this data helps me. All right, guys. 1 minute. $8:30, guys. 8:30. We got less than a minute now, team. We got the SPY on the left. I'm going to put the SPY in the middle and the dollar index on the left. I think that's a little bit better. There we go. That way you can watch the dollar index way up here. We can watch the SPY down here. We'll get this out the way so we can watch the price action clean. And data's in 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Make sure you're live on the stream. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button to call it up. The dot around the play button, the live button should be red. If it's gray or white, then you are behind on the stream. And so make sure it is red so you're caught up in live watching here. 15 seconds. All right, guys. Again, 195 is what's expected. 195 should be dropping right now. A little bit late on my end here. Let's check another source. SPY dipped. Dollar index popping up. Let me look at this way. Again, I'm checking all the sources. They look like they're late on my end. We can refresh this. Dollar index is popping up big. Productivity revised to 1.7% versus 2.6% expected. Again, 1.7 versus jobless claims came in at 190 versus 195. 190 versus 195. So lower than expected jobless claims numbers. And as I suggested, this did equal a negative response in markets. 190 versus 195 expected. And you can see with this, with less jobless claims, the market is moving down and the dollar index is moving up. So again, there's a positive correlation. So less than expected equals a negative reaction in markets. And that's exactly what we got. So you can see the data right there. We also have the non-farm data showed up at 1.7 versus 2.6%. 1.7 versus 2.6%. We will put this data up on screen as well. But yeah, negative response. Dixie all the way up to over 105s now. Yeah, and we're pretty flat on our swing trades. Luckily, I cut most of, or I cut some of Tesla ahead of this, and Microsoft, we were already green, so we're down very small on it. We'll let those work. Not the biggest response. We got a little bit of a response in the SPY, but, you know, not a huge one. We're down like 40 cents in the SPY, 50 cents. It's bad. It means more people are working, which is bad for spending and inflation, right? It's good for inflation fears, but it's bad for spending and inflation fears. Yeah, and if you guys hear me say, as I said, what I meant is I told people many times, like probably at least 5 times, that we probably have a positive correlation between jobless claims numbers and the market itself, right? And so when we came in lower than expected, again, with a positive correlation, that would mean the market drops, and that's exactly what we got. So we got lower than expected jobless claims, and the market fell. So again, a positive correlation there. Most people didn't. Most people didn't think Tesla was gonna fly yesterday. Most people were underwhelmed by the conference call. I know I was, you know. You had $2,000 in Tesla calls. Oof. Sorry to hear, man. Again, the move is pretty insignificant. We haven't really reacted a bunch yet, but we got some time to rebound here. We'll see if we do. Yeah, the question is, what kind of rate hike do we get this month? You know, that's the real question. What kind of rate hike do we get? Yeah, market's starting to bounce back. Hey, like I said, we're still in a couple trades. Kroger dropped their earnings. If you want to see them, we'll put those in chat. Kroger did drop their earnings. Also, guys, I didn't put it in sub-only mode, so if you haven't yet, subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that sub button, guys. Again, everything we do here is free. We cover all this data very quickly every time we drop. We cover jobless claims, non-farm payroll data. Next week, we got some big data. We cover all the big earnings. Yesterday, we streamed the entire Tesla Investor Day conference. So we cover all this data. My job is creating a free resourcing community where we don't sell a course. I don't sell my own service. I don't claim to be an expert or even a good trader. And we're just a resourcing community where we don't pressure you to buy anything. You know, one of the things here is like a lot of people really want to work with the channel, but they don't really understand me in that regard. Like they don't understand what my channel is about. And so they come here and they try to really like shield different penny stocks and they try to really pressure people to buy this or buy that. And they get really emotional about it. And then when I don't want to work with them, then they get their feelings hurt and get all weird and turn into haters, right? That's happened multiple times. But the point behind all of this, the point behind me even saying this is that my channel is about no pressure. Like, we're not going to pressure you to do anything. I have no idea about what the market is going to do. All I know is that I'm green on the year and I try to make money in swing trades. That's what we do here. We also day trade at the opening bell live every day. So if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Yeah, dude, what rate hike do you think we get in March? I'm gonna end the poll that we got going on right now. We got about 1,000 votes, mostly bear reaction. It looks like they were right here, but we're gonna end that poll. Why you repeat the same thing all the time? Because it's reinforcing the points of this channel. You know, I think anybody's gonna have to repeat the same thing over and over again, because if I don't, people aren't gonna really hear it. And as well as we get new people every day. And so, yeah, you better believe we're going to say the same thing over and over again here, because people need to hear what I'm saying, you know. Like I said, don't hate because we're growing, bro. I get it. Like, haters might get mad when we grow, and I get it. But, you know, y'all are going to keep getting mad. We're going to keep growing. Market's at 392.40s. Let's see if Microsoft bounces. How many bases? We're going to do a poll right now. How many BPs does the Fed hike? How much does the Fed raise rates in the March Fed meeting? Again, we're going to do a poll for this. We're going to do 0 basis points, which I think is very unlikely. We're going to do 25 basis points, which is going to be what's expected. 50 basis points, which is going to be 30% expected, and something else. And then you can comment what that is. All right, so there is that poll. All right, so senators are calling on Meta to stop its plan to release the metaverse app Horizon Worlds, according to the Wall Street Journal. It's March 22nd. But again, vote on the poll. We got the poll going live. Okay, all good. But yeah, we're going to repeat the same things over and over again because people need to hear it, man. You know. All right, so kind of consolidation now. But yeah, 50 is pretty certain. You know, 50 I think right now is a 70% favorite in terms of like voting. 50 is like a 70% favorite. Yeah, so the Fed usually raises rates as expected, and that's different than anything else. Like CPI almost never comes in as expected, but rate hikes do. You know, last time they expected 25, they did 25, and so forth and so on. And so that's kind of how it generally goes. Yeah, we got CPI in a couple weeks as well. Yeah, a lot of people believe they should just rip the Band-Aid off and do a much more aggressive rate hike. I don't know where I fall on that line, but can we explain why better than expected job claims drove prices lower? So it's not better, it's higher. So it's not better, it's higher. And there's a difference, okay? So lower jobless claims numbers equal to negative response. All right. The reason lower jobless claims numbers, it's not necessarily better. Lower jobless claims numbers means more people working. And when more people are working, it means more people are spending, and that negatively influences inflation. And so the nuance of the market over the last 6 months or so, and just to correct myself here, so it was conventionally better than expected, actually. So you're actually correct. My bad. But the reason that caused a negative response is because it evokes more spending. It means more spending in markets. Anything that means more spending is going to be interpreted as a negative over the last 6 months at least because of inflation fears, right? So you got to think about it with the nuance of like anything that causes more spending is going to be interpreted as bad in the market's eyes. And so less people working is good in that regard. And to the market, I'm not saying I agree with this, but to the market, less people working is going to be better right now because it means less people spending, and more people working, i.e. lower jobless claims, is going to be interpreted as a negative because it means more spending, which then adds to inflation problems. That's why we get a negative response. That's why there's a positive correlation between jobless claims and the market itself, is because more spending is going to be interpreted as bad right now. Yeah, bullish for dollar. Unless we get worse data. Yeah, CPI is going to be so the big thing to watch for this is that CPI is going to come out. CPI is going to come out before the Fed meeting. So it'll be interesting to see how much that, influences people's sentiment. Yeah, no worries. Also, guys, if you want to help support your boy here, check out Top Step. One of the ways you can trade these big economic releases, if you look at the E-mini and Tesla. Tesla and the SPY look very similar right now. Look, here's Tesla on the right. Here's the SPY in the middle. You can kind of see they're pretty similar right now. If you look at the E-mini is the SPY essentially in the futures market. And you can day trade this, which is essentially the S&P 500. You zoom out here, it's the exact same price action. It's literally the exact same thing. What you guys see on the SPY right now is that. And if I zoom in here, again, it's the exact same thing. Big drop, let me fix this a little bit. Zoom out here. Oh, this is a 5-minute chart. That's why it looks different. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be a little bit clearer. So yeah, you can see it's the same price action. Again, drop, consolidation, drop, consolidation. And you can trade this right side in futures without PDT restriction. You can day trade and short it as much as you want without restriction of the PDT rule. Top Step is the easiest way to test yourself without taking on a lot of risk. They're a funded account program. So what they do is they test your skill, they test your profitability, and it's just a lot cheaper to do this than to put money up yourself and risk thousands of dollars. So what they do is they give you a demo, and if you can prove profitability while following their rules, they fund you between 50 to 150,000 with a 90% split. Most people are going to lose, but I think that's the point, is that you can test yourself without taking on the added risk. To put the money up yourself in futures and to day trade the S&P 500, you need at least like what, $10,000 to $15,000, and if you trade that and you lose there, you're risking thousands of dollars. And so Top Step is a beautiful middle ground where it gives you some pressure, but not the full extent of like a real live account where you're risking thousands of dollars. And if you lose Top Step, it's not the end of the world, and it reinforces and builds your skill, because trading is about learning how to perform under pressure. And so, you have the possibility to get funded, and if you're good enough, you can get funded with a 90% split. And then the most legit futures funded program in the world, they're regulated by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They pay out millions every year in actual withdrawals. They fund thousands of traders a year. If you want to check them out, here's the link. You can get 20% off. I'm definitely biased in their favor. They are a sponsor of mine, and so I'm certainly biased in their favor. But yeah, if you want to check it out, there's the link. Yeah, you can, but there's no pressure there. It doesn't teach you how to trade. Like, you can use a demo account and trade all you want. But again, the benefit of Top Step is that it tests your skill, and there's a bunch of resources that comes with it, to where they're gonna give you a profit target. They're gonna give you a max loss. They're gonna have their trader IQ allows you to build rules for yourself, and it tells you how well you're following your rules, as well as the other resources that they have. And it's less than $140 a month. And so some paper trading platforms cost what, like a DOS Pro costs what, $100 something. And so, I mean, I think there's a lot of arguments for Top Step's value in that regard. But again, I'm biased in their favor because I'm sponsored by them, All right, so again, market is down slightly from it, but it's starting to kind of rebound back up here. The dollar index is what you should watch. If the dollar index moves up, look for weakness on the SPY. But what's strange here is, like, SPY moving up, dollar index is moving up with it, which is kind of odd, but hey. Yeah, we're not going to plug competitors to sponsors. Sorry, Again, Top Step is the most legit one. They've been around for over 10 years. They're kind of who all the other futures funded accounts copy off of, to be completely honest. Top Step's been around longer than almost all of them. Tesla's starting to rebound back up here. So Tesla up to 187.80s here. So we're actually green on the open Tesla trade we're in right now. So still red because we took a little bit off jobless claims numbers, but I'm still not mad I did that. I'm glad I did that because it protects the trade. Again, my TOS account's got about 120,000 in buying power. But in order to keep that buying power safe, I have to use risk measures like I did with Tesla. And so even though I might need a little bit more upside to go really green, it still protected the trade enough to where it's still justified, I think. All good. So the Dixie just broke down a little bit. Tesla's starting to bounce back up. Again, the SPY only needs to break. The opening candle of this is 393.07 here. So the SPY really only needs to get over this level here to go green from jobless claims. So right around the 200 EMA. And I think that'll be a big level. The 200 EMA in that red to green spot's right around the same area. So again, we'll see what happens. But I mean, we hear you, Sean, but I think that there's just so many people that act the same way that, like, at a certain point, I start to tune them out personally. It's nothing against you. It's just kind of like anybody that's like, hey, look at me, look at how right I was, look at me, in the comment section. And I know I do that as well, so I'm not judging, but it's like eventually I just learned to tune them out because a lot of people that do that, they'll say one thing and then if it doesn't go their way, they just kind of act like they never said it. And then if it does go their way, they'll say, hey, look what I called out. Look what I did. Look what I did. And so, again, I just start to tune them out, man. It's not you specifically. Tesla actually going green a little bit on the day. John, you have one of the best chats. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Curious, what's your reason on March 13th? So I think March 13th is when CPI comes out. Is that right? It's something like that. I'm sure pulling up in an EV truck to a construction site would probably be seen as blasphemy. No, I could only assume it would be. Yeah, I could only assume it would be. All right, bro. Good day to you, Garino. 14th and 15th, the CPI and PCE. Okay, got you. All right, so we'll see if we keep bouncing back here. Again, we're down slightly from the report, but pretty flat. The dollar index is starting to move up, so that's not necessarily a good sign. A lot of YouTube chat room participants have dislocated shoulders from patting themselves on the back so much, eh? But the Ford Lightning can't tow with any real distance. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never driven a Ford Lightning. Again, I'd buy the Cybertruck if it came out. Yeah, I mean, you know, the horse replaced the carriage. The automobile replaced the carriage, you know. And so eventually the more efficient thing's going to win out. All right, guys. So again, Tesla's starting to go in a little upward trend. Let's see if we break 190s. We could. Yeah, EVs are cool, man. I mean, they're just more efficient. Like, regardless of what anybody says. Again, I think big oil has a lot of like propaganda that's out there, because I mean, oil runs the world, you know. So it's like, of course, everybody's kind of putting out the big oil talking points about how bad EVs are or whatever it is. The reality of it is, EVs are simply more efficient. They're just more efficient. We're always going to need lubricants, so we're always going to need oil lubricants. That's always going to be a big business. It's always going to be okay, but gas-powered vehicles are less efficient than electronic vehicles by a very wide margin. Again, in terms of speed, EV is faster. You know, a Bugatti costs millions of dollars because of how fast they are, right? The Bugatti does 9.9 seconds stock quarter mile. You know what a Tesla Plaid does? 9 seconds flat, right? Speed, way more efficient, EV. Mileage, obviously more efficient. Noise, less noisy. You know what I mean? Like, we go on and on. They drive themselves to a certain extent, and so again, EV is simply more efficient. It's not really arguable. Now, the only argument is like battery disposal argument. Like, hey, disposing of batteries with EVs is less efficient. And that's 100% true right now. But over time, that's going to get better, because over time, technology is attracted to the more efficient. So over time, the technology of that type of stuff will get better. All right, so the EU antitrust regulators are not expecting to demand Microsoft to sell its assets in the Activision deal, according to Reuters. Yeah, I do like the noise, Chris. I'll be honest. I do like the noise. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Nick? What's up, man? Yeah, we're always going to need oil. Like, it's not like oil is just going to go away. Like, we're always going to have a need for lubricants and oil. There's just, again, it's not really arguable at this point, that EVs are just more efficient than gas powered. And that's going to the margin of that is going to get larger and larger over time as well. Yeah, the thing about charging that people don't understand, people are like, oh, well, you got to wait in line to charge your vehicle. It's like, bro, that's not where most of the charging is going to be. The dollar index just broke highs. The dollar index is up to 105.13 right now, 105.13. Most people are going to charge their vehicle overnight. They're going to go home, charge their vehicle, wake up the next morning, drive it all day, go home, charge their vehicle, wake up the next morning, drive it all day. That's how it's most of the time going to be. The only thing where plugging it in outside of your home is going to be relevant is when you're taking long trips. And again, that's not the majority of trips, as well as, like, it's probably good for you to get out your car every couple hours when you're driving long trips. Like, get out your car for a couple minutes every 4 hours or so. That's probably pretty healthy for you. Bad for circulation to stay in your car that long, to be honest. So I mean, Hey, what's up, Ren? Yeah, I might get a Cybertruck. I don't know. I like them. They're cool. Yeah, I'm not talking about environmentally efficient JCW. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm talking about is everything else. Speed, mileage, that's all more efficient. My point is, you can drive way longer on an electric vehicle than you can in a gas powered vehicle. They're quieter, so they're the rides are better generally. The speed is more consistent and they're faster. You know what I mean? Like, they're just more efficient almost all the way around. The only argument is for environmentally, and again, I think that even swings more towards EVs, and I think it's pretty obvious. But again, oil runs the world, and so there's a lot of propaganda. To be honest, anti-EV propaganda, because they understand the threat of it. So this should be good for Microsoft. Yeah, but the European antitrust regulators are not expecting to demand Microsoft to sell its assets in the Activision deal. Regulators' concerns likely to be addressed with Microsoft licensing deals with rivals and other behavioral remedies, according to Reuters. All right, guys. So SPY mostly sideways from the jobless claims announcement. Mostly sideways here. Still got about 30 minutes before the opening bell. Pretty flat on both of the trades we took in today. Down a little bit, but I'm going to give it time to bounce back. We've had a really sideways market for the last, while, to be honest. Yesterday was pretty sideways until Tesla earnings, or Tesla Investor Day. What kind of Tesla you have, Rid? I want the plaid, to be honest, personally. I'd like the plaid. Yeah, I'm not talking about environmentally, CT, so like I said, me saying, hey, I'm not talking about environmentally, and then giving me a bunch of environmental points just to try to be right. I mean, I get it, but, again, I think the environmental argument is there too, but again, it's subjective. Like if it's in terms of producing the EV, it's certainly more environmentally taxing than gas powered. But I think you have to also compare that to the everyday environmental impact of gas powered vehicles. You know what I mean? And again, I think it's a very nuanced argument where it's gonna be it's gonna go back and forth. I think I'll call that a flat one. Yeah, plaid's 150K. I know, but I still want it. And justifiably so. I mean, again, plaid is so freaking fast. It's ridiculous, man. That thing does 9 seconds. People underestimate how fast a 9-second quarter-mile car is. That is so fast, man. The Fast and the Furious makes people think that 10-second cars are just common, 10-second car is a drag car. And so a 9-second car is so fast, it's ridiculous. It's honestly almost dangerously fast, to be real. But... yeah, Tesla trim. I don't know. I think Teslas are cool. Again, I think the Cybertruck will reignite it, but yeah, everything's pretty quiet and flat right now. I mean, we went up a little bit, or we went down from the jobless claims release. You can kind of see this is the trend we've been in since the release happened. So we're mostly neutral. I mean, if you look at it, if we draw a trend line here, you could probably draw something like this. Something like that maybe. But again, we're just kind of watching it. .9 seconds, 0 to 60 is so fast, man. That's so crazy fast. 6-second car. Yeah. Yeah, I think again, if y'all want to participate in a funny poll, if y'all want to participate in a funny poll or in a funny thing here, we did this yesterday. We had some fun with this yesterday. So this is the next gen announcement on Tesla. We asked people on our Twitter, what is this? Wrong answers only. We got some really funny answers. If you want to check it out, follow me on Twitter at Beginner Trades. But it's the blanket from the next gen debut. If you want to follow me, again, it's pretty funny. Let me know what you guys think. Here's my Twitter handle right there if you want to follow it. Give me a follow. I appreciate it. I don't know, guys. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Okay. Honestly, I saw a turbo Toyota Supra the day before yesterday. Still one of my dream cars, to be honest. That or like an Acura NSX. It was actually a Japanese Supra, so the driver The driver was on the right side, which is cool. I don't know if it was a twin turbo. I hope it was, but. Right, 100%. That's exactly right, Ren. I think that's the risk of buying other cars that are less common. Like these up-and-coming EV brands, the risk is that you're going to turn into Clark Griswold on National Lampoon's Vacation with the rental car. All right, that's the risk of these up-and-coming EV brands, is that like they don't have the support that you really want for a car. You need warranties, you know? You need dealerships that know how to work on them. You know, that's the problem with some of these up-and-coming EV brands like Lucid or Polestar or Rivian or Mullen, is that like when the time comes to know how to work on them, it's going to be incredibly expensive. And I think because of that, that's why people gravitate towards Teslas, is because it's going to be hard to find people that are willing to work on those things, as well as the support is just not going to be there, you know? Yeah, man, my first car, or well, not my first car. It was actually like my second or third car, but I had a H22 Honda Prelude VTEC. It was like a 97 or 98 standard 5-speed when I was younger, when I was like 18 or 19. Love that car, man. I used to put it up to VTEC, and VTEC would kick in at like 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. And so I'd put it up to that and then just floor it. And all my friends thought I had a turbo because I had a cold air intake that kind of whistled a little bit. And so they thought it was a blow off valve. But yeah, it was fun. I still miss that car. I lost that car in one of the hurricanes in Louisiana. So I lost my car in one of the hurricanes. Long story, but. All right, so BX reportedly defaults on 531 million euro of CMBSs after property sales were delayed, according to Bloomberg. US EFFR rises to 4.8% on 1st of March from 4.57 on the 28th and 27th of February. Market's bouncing back a little bit. Look at the SPY bounce back some. So the dollar index is dropping. Again, we'll see if this trend holds on the Dixie here. So here's the Dixie. We'll see if this trend holds. We're right around it here. Like, look, you can kind of see it. You know, so we'll see if that trend holds. I'm not sure it will. I don't know. We'll see, though. But the SPY bouncing back really nice. See if we get some green action today. Beginner trading was wild back in the days, bro. Y'all don't even know. You know, I'm not gonna be specific, but yeah, I had fun as a kid. I'll tell you that. You know, as a teenager, I should say. Michael Burry bought Baba while Berkshire sold half of it. Yeah, I'm not buying Baba. There's too much risk in that. I actually love the Midwest, to be honest, man. My wife has family out in Michigan, bro. We stayed in Michigan. Well, we go to Michigan sometimes during the summer. And Michigan is so nice, bro. It's so nice. Good food. Weather is great. There's like farms everywhere. It's great, you know. Yeah, I hope so. Import. We'll see, man. Again, market's pretty flat ahead after this jobless claims report. There's just not much going on here. Yeah, winters are rough though, but all right, guys, we still got about a couple minutes. We're gonna get ready to trade some futures today. So yeah, we're gonna get ready to trade some futures. Yeah, I mean, I'm from Louisiana, so we've gotten hit with a bunch of hurricanes, man. I've gotten stuck. I've experienced a lot of them. You know, like I'm from Baton Rouge, but I've got family from New Orleans, and so yeah, we've been through some hurricanes for sure. We've been through Katrina. Like a lot of my New Orleans family came and stayed with us during Katrina. We got hit a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. Gustav really messed my family up more than anything else, to be honest. Tsla, that's just a terrible company, bro. I can't help. Like, look at Excella's chart, bro. This is just one of the worst charts I've ever seen, man. And honestly, the crazy part is like this whole time, Excel has been doing this, right? This whole time, people have been pumping it up in the chat. They'd be like, "Oh, Excel is gonna go crazy. It's gonna go huge. It's an amazing company." It's like, bro, this thing dropped from $15 to 5 cents in the last year, in the last 52 weeks. It's down to 5 cents now. You know, terrible company, absolutely horrible. And again, this is what new traders get talked into. If you ever hear the Wolf of Wall Street quote where he says, "We're selling garbage to garbage men," this is what he's talking about, is these terrible penny stock companies. New traders, a lot of the time they're naive. They get talked into buying these crap companies and investing in these crap companies like they're Amazon. And again, a large majority of them lose money. All right, so the Chicago Fed president faces more controversy. Hmm. Yeah, it's the Wolf of Wall Street quote. And it's honestly right. You know, and again, the sensationalism that you get in that movie about penny stocks is the same as it really is in real life. You know, if you think about how they hype them up, oh, cutting edge mid firm out the Midwest awaiting imminent patent approval on the next generation of radar detectors that have civilian and military uses. You know, and really it's just like a shack. It's like a little bitty shack whose mom answers the phone. Like that's really how it is in penny stocks, man. You know, but a lot of new traders, they see that and they call it due diligence, and then they fail, and then those companies fail, like they almost always were going to. And then when they fail, they cry manipulation. They say, "Oh, it wouldn't have failed if it wasn't for manipulation." It's like maybe y'all are just investing in terrible penny stock companies. You know, like that's the truth. Is that y'all are just putting money in terrible penny stock companies. Like these are all going to fail, most of them. Or at least a large majority of them will get delisted to pink sheets and then go to zero. Uh, you know, and again, I understand this because I see it every day. I have people telling me to buy specific penny stocks nonstop in here, and so I feel like I have like a obligation to be honest about it. Uh, Tesla down to 186.50s. Right, exactly. If a company's going down long term, it doesn't mean cheap. Like with penny stocks, it does not mean cheap. If you're talking about blue chips, maybe. You know, blue chips, the big edge is that they go up long term, but it needs to be blue chips. If you're talking about penny stocks, like big extension on the downside doesn't mean anything. Uh, yeah, most of the penny stock millionaires do so by selling courses to people on penny stocks. Or they like artificially pump them up. They say, "Hey guys, I'm buying ABC," and then it's low float. So when they announce it to thousands of people, they go up, and then they sell it at the top and make money, and then they show people the profit from pumping the stock up, and they say, "Look how much money I made, guys! Buy my trading course now." It happens all the time. All right, team. We got about 20 minutes. Oh, let me stretch. Oh, I got a Fast and the Furious shirt on right now. You know, speaking of cars, what is that? Ugh. All stocks don't start off as pennies, Tiny. That's a big misconception as well. Again, a lot of the people that try to sell you on penny stocks, they'll say that same thing. They'll say, "Hey, all stocks start off as penny stocks." It's not true. Most blue chip stocks did not start off as penny stocks. All right, like look at Google. Google IPO'd at what? Look, you can look at Google IPO price. Google IPO'd at like I think it was like $80, 70 something dollars. $85 a share is where it IPO'd at. Google, Facebook, $38 a share. You know, like Amazon, sure, it started as a penny stock. Tesla might have as well. You know, but a majority of blue chips don't start off as pennies. Like they never start off. They IPO and they're immediately in mid cap territory. And so that really is a big misconception that a lot of people think they start off as pennies. That's just not true. You know. All right, so market's starting to bounce back a little bit. Yeah, Amazon is one of them. But again, it's kind of like a needle in the haystack. Like you could try to find the next Amazon and diversify, but you have to understand doing so a large majority of what you pick is gonna turn worthless after a couple years. You know, so it's like you could try to pick a needle out of the haystack and try to find the penny stocks that succeed long term. But again, a large majority of them are gonna fail, and so the odds that you're gonna pick the next Amazon are very, very, very low. Amazon was once very cheap, but this was back in like 1997, so this was like 30 years ago. You know. And Microsoft bounced it back a little bit. Yeah, so I'm still in Lyft. I don't know what to do with Lyft. Part of me is like, I think I added a little bit to it today, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I added a little bit to it. Still in Ford. Tesla back to 200 tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, the problem with penny stocks is this, right? Is that most of the CEOs of penny stocks don't actually believe in their company either. Like a lot of them are just out there to get rich. They pump the price of their stock up, they raise it super high, they announce an offering, and they dilute their company and they sell shares, and then they give themselves a big bonus afterwards to basically profit from the secondary offering that they do on the stock. And so they just kind of pump the price of their stock up. They put a bunch of sensationalized predatory marketing out there, talk a bunch of new traders into buying it, and then pump the price of the stock up, and then when the price is high, they secondary offer, dilute the company, and then they give themselves a big fat bonus from it, and they ride off into the sunset as their stock expires worthless, and most of the people that left buying and holding their stock lose tons of money, sometimes their life savings. That's what happens a lot of the time. Is like what you have to understand is that a lot of the CEOs don't even believe in the company. A lot of them aren't making money outside of offerings, and so they're trying to find a way to make money. And what they do a lot of the time is they pump the price of their stock up and then they sell it and cut it. Uh, yeah, I mean, we're in Microsoft. We're green on it now. So we'll see if it continues. But I got this old school music list, man. I've got literal days of music on here. All right, market pulling back a little bit. We'll see if it holds. Well, I mean, just because somebody does an offering doesn't necessarily mean they're scamming people. Elon might have done it, but he obviously believed in his company enough to take the money he made from those things and put it back into the company to succeed, you know? All right, so market pulling back pretty fast here. Look at this little dip we got on the SPY. Hey, what's up, Guts? Thanks, man. Yeah, where's Bitcoin at? I'm watching Bitcoin now. I'm not sure what it's going to do, though. Binge just did an offering. All right, guys, Ford just ripped up here. So that's nice to see. I don't know if this is going to hold. I hope it does, but look at Ford. I'm in Ford. 1240 right now. What happened? Some good news? Hopefully so, but Ford just popped up to 1240s. Again, I don't know if it's going to hold. Higher than that now, too. 1244. Let me see Ford. Yeah, I don't know. Ford just ripped up, though. 1250s now. Again, I don't know the news on Ford, but it had a huge rip just now. That's great. Good for it, man. Tesla even bouncing right back up a little bit, too. Yeah, I've been investing in Ford, too. Or not investing. I've been swing trading Ford. I bought Ford. My average right now is 1180s. But we bought Ford. One of my favorite trading strategies, that's honestly, for me at least, it's had a really high accuracy rate, is waiting for a stock to drop big on earnings. So waiting for like a big earnings dip and then buying it up after the emotional drop when everybody else is like, oh, this thing's going to fail. You know, I bought Ford after the earnings dip at the beginning of February. Maybe that wasn't it. Maybe it was higher than that. Let me see. I bought Ford and averaged into Ford. Maybe it was the one on the 9th. Yeah, like 1230s. I bought Ford. And then I kind of slowly averaged in as it dipped more. And just kind of loaded into some shares. And then caught the rebound back up and took profit yesterday at around 1250s or so. But again, I do want to tell everybody, like, I can't guarantee anybody's going to make money in anything. I have no idea what Ford will do. And the way I trade, I really, like, I have to be willing to hold this as long as I need to. Like, I got to be willing to hold this thing long term. Because I'm going to be wrong short term sometimes. And they're going to keep dropping. But that's okay because I've got the buying power and the patience necessary to just hold it as long as I need to. And so Ford's going to be over 1250s one day again. And in that regard, you know, just being able to buy it and sit. If we're right short term, we'll take some off and lock in profit. If we're wrong short term, we just sit on it and wait. Kind of like a mix between investing and swing trading. It just works really well, you know. Okay, got you. Yeah, the divvy went up on Ford. Good. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've already Ford's still up pretty big. I mean, Ford was down at 12.20, so it's up to 12.45 right now. It doesn't matter though. Like I've already scaled out of almost all of Ford. I had like 250 shares of it. I think it was something around there, and I ended up scaling out of most of that already. My average price on Ford right now is 11.89. But I'm already green on the trade as a whole, and I'm green today as well. You know, so it's like I'm already so green on it that even if it completely turned around, I'd still be okay. I'll probably hold the rest break even. And we got a lot of room now. Like I said, my average on Ford's 11.80s, so that's way underneath where we're at now. So I can be patient on it. And if you want to see the average, I could show you. So yeah, like we've already scaled out of this trade. We're only holding 50 shares left. Average price of 11.89 that you can see right there. So 12.50s again too. CLF announced it's raising the current base prices for its steel plate products by a minimum of $60 per ton, effective immediately with all new non-contract orders. Gotcha. Yeah, big emotional dips are really the best thing to do. For me, at least. I am using Top Step Aria, so I'm using a funded account program in futures. So this is called Quant Tower, is the name of the platform. And again, we're just kind of having fun with this. My TOS account's got 120,000 in buying power. I think I'm already funded, so I don't necessarily need to get funded, but I think a lot of people don't have that. And you know, day trading a funded account program is going to be a lot better suited for a lot of people than putting up the money themselves. It's kind of a easier barrier of entry. You know, it's an easier way to enter day trading large caps, where you're day trading futures. You can day trade commodities, or you can day trade the S&P 500, which is what the E-mini is that you can see on the screen. This is the S&P 500, so it's similar to the SPY, and you can day trade in futures without PDT. It's just a lot cheaper. So you could enter this. You have some pressure. So the same amount of pressure you'd have on a live account, or at least a middle ground of that. And if you can pass the test they give you, then they'll fund you. If you don't pass it, you're down very small amounts of money relative to what you would be down if you put up the money yourself. And so it's just a lot cheaper barrier of entry. But again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm definitely biased in their favor. They pay me money, so I'm certainly biased in their favor. But again, it's just a cheaper barrier of entry for traders, where you can test yourself, see if you're ready to put up real money. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. And again, if you were to lose the same amount on a real account, you'd be down thousands of dollars with, you know, putting up the money yourself. And so it's just a cheaper barrier of entry. A great way to test your skill. Kama and Arjun, please stop arguing with each other. Just y'all ignore each other if y'all disagree. There's no reason to just troll each other or argue with each other. Again, I'm not going to look back at who started it. I really don't know. Just a genuine request. Stop arguing with each other. It doesn't help the chat. It makes it kind of just drama. We dropped a little bit from jobless claims. We're actually pretty flat from the jobless claims report. Market opens up in about 5 minutes. But yeah, we're actually pretty flat from the jobless claims. Tom. It's called Top Step Fidel. If you want to check it out, here's the link. My bad. I think I forgot to post the link. If you want to check it out, here's the link right here. You get 20% off by using my link. The base one's like $140 if you use my link. Tesla's down because the investor day was lackluster, I would say. Yeah, and again, I'm biased. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Most people are going to lose the funded account program, to put it into perspective. But I think that's kind of the point, is because it's a lot cheaper to lose Top Step's funded account program than it is to put up 15K yourself and risk that and lose that. And so it's one of those things where it saves people money, I think, a lot of the time. Even if it doesn't feel like it, like, you're always going to have people that get mad that they lose and say it's a scam. You know, I lost. It's like, bro, 95% of day traders lose. And so most people are going to lose these as well. But again, it's cheaper to lose Top Step than it is to lose a real account, you know. Yeah, Tesla Day was a little bit lackluster, man. They let the engineers talk too much. I'm not hating on the engineers. I think that some really smart minds there, but I think the problem with them is that they let them talk too much. Like, everybody got bored. Like, you gotta speak with conviction, and they're just kind of like, hey guys, so yeah, you know, we're gonna go all electricity in the world right now, and yeah, that's good. You know, and so then when the stock drops, you know, I think that's a normal expectation of that. You know, they should have said it with conviction. They got to sell it, and they didn't. You know. All right, guys. So we got manufacturing, non-manufacturing PMI tomorrow. Yeah, for sure, Patrick. We're gonna cover that. We're gonna stream it all live. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do at the open. I have no idea. We did a poll earlier on how many basis points they're gonna raise in March, and the poll states 56% think 50, which I think is what I agree with as well. We got about 30 seconds, guys. 36% think 25, 5% think something else. So 5%, I'm assuming, think 100 basis points, which is strange. But hey, you know, we'll see. I hope y'all are wrong, but I don't know if it'd be that bad of a thing. We'll see, though. All right, market moving up a little bit at the open, or ahead of the open. We got 10 seconds left. Microsoft. We're nicely up in Microsoft here. I'm going to go ahead and take 25 shares off. Just lock that profit in at the open. I would just cut it. All right, there's the opening bell. So we took 25 shares off. So we took about a third of the position off at the open for Microsoft. Gonna let the rest ride, but locking in profit when you're up is probably, you know, the right move there, I think. Yeah, Silvergate's down huge percentages. I don't trust it at all. I've had a lot of people talk about it today, but I don't really mess with penny stocks, and I'm definitely not touching that. You know, extension doesn't mean anything in penny stocks, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. You know, if Apple was down 44%, I would buy it, but penny stock being down 44%, it's nothing new. You see it all the time. All right, market's moving up a little bit. Tesla at 187s. Okay, we're gonna let the opening bell unfold first before we take any huge positions. All right, consolidation at the open. We got basically a sideways open right here with these two candlesticks. Waiting to see what happens there. Tesla moving up to almost 188s. Tesla just popped up to 188s, almost 199s here. Or 189s, I mean. And 188.60s right now. I'd love to see a break of 190. We break 190, we'll take some profit off of Tesla here, but we're now green on the opening trade for Tesla. Took a little bit off of Microsoft on the opening pop, but it looks like it was the right move too. But consolidation trend right here. We got this little opening range breakout. Should have held on to that position I had. We had about 20 shares more than this on Tesla, but you know, like I said, all good. There's a big, not a big rip, but again, very choppy open. Here's the 4 candles since the opening bell. We were in this really tight range. Tesla up to 199s right now. 199s for Tesla. Yeah, I'm gonna let that work. I think Tesla's pretty extended on the downside. Tesla just broke over VWAP. We're starting to get some upward action here. There's 189s. Microsoft bouncing back right around the previous closing price. I use Chart Prime. Yeah, I use it pretty regularly. I've got 4 monitors, and so I don't put it up on screen because, again, if I put it up on screen, like, they're a sponsor of mine, so nobody would really want it, you know, because you could just find it for free on my screen. But yeah, we use it. All right, chop so far, guys. Choppy open. Microsoft back green on the day here, starting to creep back up some. Again, not really any edge right now. There's just sideways action. So I just don't see much benefit of doing anything here. Microsoft starting to push up more here. Cool. Nice. Microsoft ripping up over highs here. I'm going to take a little bit more off now. We're going to let the last 25 shares really work here. Tesla ripping up as well. Cool. Yeah, we are now green on the day. Took a little bit, but again, we will short the market too if it breaks down. But scaled out of a lot of those trades at the open, so now we just have room left. I'm gonna short this right now. We got 1 contract. I'm gonna short. I think we might turn. And there's the turn. Very choppy open, guys. Very choppy open. Microsoft testing highs of the day again. Man, we rebounded so quickly on Microsoft. I'm going to take another 10 shares off. We just broke highs again. All right, we took another 10 shares off, just locked in profit there. This trade's breaking down, but we are still green, but not by much. What about Ford? What's Ford doing? I'll let the rest go on Microsoft. Ford's still doing okay. Google's still doing all right. Sideways day for Tesla now, or sideways open, I should say. Again, we've been scaling out of stuff all since the open anyway. I started to get a breakdown here. You got to see, again, we are green in this trade currently. I'm trying to let the breakdown really happen, but so choppy that I don't think taking larger size is justified. Well, we moved it back down to the bottom of the range, and so a lot of the time when that happens, it turns, but it doesn't mean anything. We're just kind of... If we do turn, I think the risk reward's justified, even though I don't know what the accuracy rate would be like, you know, just because we're testing the bottom of the range. No, we don't really cover penny stocks. All right, we're testing the low. Again, I thought we might turn, and we're starting to, but nothing big enough to get me excited yet. And even if we do reverse back up, I mean, we're right on the directional move after the open, but it's not like it's a big move here. There we go. Break it down. We'll go ahead and take that off. Made about 15 bucks there. I'll take it. We'll give it a little bit more time to do something, but I just don't see any big edge right now. First solar up again. Yeah, market's bouncing back a little bit. Tesla actually testing the VWAP again. Kind of a flat market, so it looks like we cut it at the right time too. Kind of a range trade that we took. Microsoft just broke highs again, so that's nice. Google breaking over the VWAP, testing 90-20s again, so that's good too. Ford still kind of break even on the day, but that's all right. Small trade now. Microsoft ripping over highs again. Again, I'm going to let the rest sit, but we bought the Microsoft dip this morning at around 244s, I think. Somewhere around there, and it looks like it was a really solid, quick little day trade on Microsoft, just based off of extension mostly. Microsoft breaking highs again. How you guys doing today? Red or green so far? We're about 11 minutes after the open. And we'll let things play out a little bit more, I guess. We haven't really traded a ton, and justifiably so, because it's been quiet. All right, getting an upward move in the market as well as Tesla. Tesla starting to move up to test 190 again. Market starting to move back to the top of that range. Again, like I said, we took a little bit off of Microsoft just now at the top at around 247.50 or so. Tesla starting to go green on the trade too. Nice. Tesla all the way back to the top. See if that momentum starts to come in. We're almost to 190. Tesla at 189s again. I'm going to buy this dip if I can hurry up with 2 contracts. See if we get a little bounce back up. But if we reject back down, it's super range bound. So might not be the easiest day to trade if that happens. All right, Tesla up there again. I just took a little bit off of Tesla now. Locked in another little bit of profit on Tesla just to lock it in when we're at these highs. So if we do end up rejecting back down, it's going to be a small loss instead. Yeah, choppy again here. I don't know what we want to do with this. I'll cut it if it breaks that candle down there. See if we move up though. All right, so that's a little bit better. Starting to bounce back up too. On Microsoft, we covered most of my Microsoft trade already. It looks like it was the right move. We cut it right around the top. Still flat here. There we go. Finally green on the day on my trades. I'd add a little bit more to this. Try to fix my average here. There's 4 contracts. There we go. Took half off there. Took the rest off there as well. So just made some money there as well. We're up today. I don't know how much I'm up today. Let me see. Cutting it there was the right move. Yeah, we're up like $40 so far day trading. Built up a little bit of a cushion. Choppy consolidation, guys. Choppy consolidation. Test. Let me fix this. Yeti, there we go. Test. Okay, that works. Market's at the top of the range, but a little bit slow. Hold on, guys. I will be right back. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I had to do something real quick. We're back now, though. All right, getting a nice little bounce. Yeah, I know I was muted. My bad. Um, Again, markets are rebounding again. We're still in the same range, though, guys. We're in the same range, same boring range. Microsoft's bouncing back a little bit, but we are in the same range that we've been in. It's just boring, man. Very neutral. Again, we did have jobless claims come out. Just a very neutral range at this point. Um, yeah, I know, guys. All right, we're breaking the highs on the S&P 500, the high of market hours, that is. All right, guys, market's testing that high. Hopefully, this drags everything else up. Tesla sideways, Microsoft sideways, Google sideways. All right, guys, just broke the highs of market hours, guys. Over the highs of market hours. Yeah, y'all can hear me now, right? You should be able to. All right, guys. Tesla testing the top again. Tesla breaking over the highs. If we can break up to 190, 191, I will take a little bit more of profit off of that. And again, testing over, breaking over highs right now. So that's nice to see. And again, I'm going to try to be a little bit more patient with this. Um, we got some time, but I'm going to try to be a little bit more patient. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take another little piece of this trade off on Tesla, lock in some more cushion, lock in some more green profit here. Might as well, right? So yeah, locked a little bit more in and sitting on the rest here. Nicely green on the day. Another really solid green day for me. Again, we bought Microsoft back down at like 244s, and we rode that one up really nicely here as well. So that feels good. And again, we'll just see if we can keep this up. Okay, good. Yeah, it's been pretty choppy. Oh man, so Tesla back up again, up to almost 191s. Nice little swing, nice little day trade is really what this is. But we'll take a little bit more off of Tesla here. Just locked in some more green there. So it locked in a little bit more cushion. Probably going to skid out the rest of it pretty soon here. There's 191s. We'll take the rest off. That was our profit target. That's where we cut it. So we are out of Tesla now. Google testing the top of the range. Could have made more from Tesla, but again, it turned against me, and we wanted to protect the risk. Ford green again today as well. So still in Microsoft. I think I'm going to cut Microsoft right here too. So yeah, I'm out of Microsoft. We made our money on it. You know. Yeah, Tesla ripping up again, but that was just a little day trade. All right, market's kind of around those highs. Letting the market pull back a little bit here. Are you guys buying this pullback? I don't know about me yet. I think I'm just gonna wait. And yeah, let me see. Or they mess with this weird. There we go. All right, so a consolidation right now. Mm. All right, guys. So a pretty big pullback is happening right now. Are you guys buying this dip? Let me know. All right, bounce it a little bit. All right, guys. So pulling back here. Let's see if we get a bounce. Again, choppy. Looks like exiting my trades where we did was probably the right move. Again, I'm still in it. I can't guarantee you're going to make money, of course, but pulling back is kind of what we expected, and that's kind of what we got here. So, all right, consolidating now. Tesla bouncing up a little bit to 190.50s. All right, market's rebounding. It very choppy action, guys. Y'all just be careful. Sometimes, like you can make money in trading, but if you push too hard on days like today, sometimes it just doesn't work out well. It's just not the right move. So just be careful, guys. Let me. All right, so let me fix this. I got to make sure doing this is right. Let me see. There we go. Market rebounding all the way back up. Tesla just broke highs. And again, I'm not really disappointed. I took profit. I don't think it, I don't think it matters too much. It's just precedence. All right, testing highs again, break it up. Microsoft moving up a little bit, but I did cut that. My Google trade is doing better. Nice movement here today. Nice rip though in markets. Yeah, you love to see it. Hey, it's pumping everything else up. Again, my Google trades nicely green on the day here. We're up a solid amount on the day from our swing trades and day trades here. Ford just pumped up to 1240s. You love to see that. What other large caps am I holding here? Okay, Google, Ford. Yeah, I'm not really up anything big. I think I'm gonna have to cut my lift trade. I think my lift trade is one of the only losses I've taken buying stuff over the last few days. I just don't think it's worth it. I think it's got too much time. So I'm going to exit Lyft and just cut that one. So that's the first losing swing trade I've had out of the list of Google, Ford, Microsoft. That's the first one that I've cut for a loss. I think I have to go back and check, but I think that's the first one I cut for a loss. Um, okay, hold on, my bad, guys. But everything else is doing really well. Google, we're still scaling out of our Google trade. Market's still ripping up here. Again, I probably should have held Tesla, but I made money on it. Made money on Microsoft. Not too bad. Yeah, everything's still pumping up, which is nice. Again, Tesla ripping up. Google testing the previous closing price, so going green on the day as well here. So again, we are green on Microsoft today, Ford, Google, Tesla. Didn't really trade much else except for the E-mini. We're green on the E-mini as well, and we'll get ready to take some swings coming through on that too. All right, market pulling back. I'm kind of tempted to buy this dip here. Again, I don't know if I want to, but I'm kind of tempted to buy this dip. Well, we do have a second, guys. Y'all check out Quant Tower here. One of the ways somebody asked me if I used them earlier. Again, I can't really show it on screen. Let me refresh this. Sure. Getting a decent pullback here. Part of me. All right, so yeah, just to show you top stat, or just to show you Quant Tower here. Quant Tower, not Quant Tower. Just to show you. Where'd it go? Sorry, I got too many monitors up on screen, guys. My bad. Let me find this. Sorry. Exit out of that. Here it is. Let me get rid of this. But yeah, check out. So I'm going to preface this with like, look, Chart Prime is a sponsor of mine. And so I'm certainly biased in their favor because, again, they're a sponsor of mine. but using them in your trading can be powerful. Here's the SPY today, which is essentially what I'm trading. And if you look at the reversal signals, you can kind of see how accurate they can be. And I'm going to preface this with like, look, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. They're a sponsor, so I'm biased in their favor. But like, look at how accurate these have been so far today. Again, reversal down, drop. So they give you custom reversal signals, reversal down, nice drop. When two of them show up together at once, like this latest one, you get a really nice follow through a lot of the time. They also do custom support and resistance documentation. They show you range, support, or resistance, and you can use them on a bunch of different time frames. So it's not just the 1 minute time frame. Like you can zoom out here and look at them yesterday, and they were pretty accurate. Look at this reversal down call. Again, when you get two of them or three of them, like this one showing up together at once, where you get the reversal down signal, you get the bearish engulfing candle, and you get the range support. Look at the huge breakdown you get over like a decent period of time. And so again, when you find multiple showing together at once, it can be really profitable. Look, here's the same thing right here at the close yesterday. A FTM candle and a reversal down signal, nice follow through. Two bullish engulfing candles, nice little bounce. And so it's a trading view indicator service. You can use it in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. You can get it for 40% off right now. So 40% off. You can get it for 40% off right now. So it's like 35 bucks. Very cheap. And again, I find them to be very, very useful. If you want to check them out, here is the link. Again, they're a sponsor of mine. Check them out. Can't guarantee you're going to make money, but yeah, pretty cheap for what they give you, I think, as well. Yeah, Tesla's still ripping up. And that's great, man. I'm happy for it. Again, I made my money on it. We're probably going to go ahead and close it down today, guys. I'll try to maybe trade a little bit off stream. But we're also going to be debuting a short video coming out after this stream as well today. So we do have a short that we're debuting coming out today as well. I appreciate all the subs and everybody that hit the like button and everybody that joined me yesterday. Let me make sure this works real quick. Hold on. Market dipping down. Part of me wants to buy the dip. Yeah, what an intense week. Yeah, guys, I'll see you guys a little bit later. Good luck, team. Tomorrow, I think we have something coming out tomorrow, right? I think we got PMI data tomorrow. Let me be sure. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for joining me on stream today. Tomorrow, we've got, let me check. Hold on. Tomorrow, we've got ISM non-manufacturing data for tomorrow. We got the S&P Global Composite PMI for February. We got services PMI. We got non-manufacturing data, non-manufacturing PMI tomorrow. And then we got some Fed members speaking here. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early. Love you all. Y'all be safe. I'll see you guys later. It's not 45%, it's 40%. And you'll see it at checkout, Lazar. If you use my link and at checkout, you'll get the 40% off. So you just got to go to the checkout part. I actually asked them that because I was confused the other day. But yeah, if you use my link and you go to checkout, you'll see it. It'll be like 35 bucks a month. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Good luck.